Wednesday night's live Facebook record sale. When you're on and watching, be sure to let us know. We are here and we are about to start selling you some vinyl LPs, some records. So when you're on and with us, be sure to let us know. And when I see the first comment, this record, and go ahead and start selling and showing and doing all that. So Matt Ketron, first commenter. Congratulations, Matt. You just won a free car. Free car. All right. Let me go over here. Try to find our live feed. All righty. So, welcome everybody. First thing I want to show you, I just clicked on our main page. Tomorrow night is Rolling Stones night. You're going to be hearing me say that a lot. There is the Rolling Stones official ad for tomorrow. I'm holding back a lot. I'm not showing you a lot. Just going to try to get you to be here and be watching, but that's already got a lot of great response. I can't find our live feed right now on Facebook. Like I'm on Coletco and I'm refreshing and it's not on here. Yeah. Where did y'all find our feed? Because I'm trying to find it right now and I can't. I'm on the Coletco page. I'm refreshing and I don't see our live stream. I see the Rolling Stones post. I see that and that. Somebody knows where. Somebody can find it because we have people watching. Let me go over here to the. Interesting. Usually when I go to back to my main home tab, it refreshes and it pops up. Well, I may hold off for sharing for a second. Let me go over here. I may have to share it in the group. There it is. I may have to share it in the group as Coletco, which I don't normally do. Oh, now I just got something. Let's see if it's popped up now. There it is. All right. Okay. Share group. All right. Well, I'm in a different area than I normally am, but I'll try it. Let's get it shared everywhere. Okay. So got it shared there. Let me find that link. Where was that? Get that link copied. I actually didn't make a hot post. There's not really anywhere to copy the link. Just got to get the YouTube feed shared over to Instagram. So let me get that done, and we'll start selling. So welcome, everybody. It's Wednesday. Me and Paul's got a few crates priced. He actually got here. Interesting story. Let me get everything shared, though, so I can focus on... wow, just seen where Bobby Knight passed away. Legend. Coaching legend. Didn't know that until right now. So that's a shame. Let's get this link, paste, live now. So let's get this shared, and now let's go over to our chat. So last night I was here pricing records for tonight's sale, and the door started unlocking and somebody walked in. And I was like, well, this is odd. And it was Paul. He left at 4 a.m. this morning with Tyler to go to Dale's to the Pittsburgh collection and buy the rest of that collection. So he got here at like 1 a.m. because he'd been to a concert, and he walked in, and I was like, wow. I was like, I don't normally see somebody walk in the store at 1 a.m. So he got here and priced the whole crate. I priced 2 crates. We're going to go through new vinyl. Tanner's unboxing some stuff right now. We probably won't have our full shipment of new vinyl ready. Ed was pretty focused on shipping today, so he didn't get everything unboxed like he normally does. Tanner's working on some of it now, but we're going to go through what I have. Trust me, we got plenty of records to show. This is going to be one of those nights where we have just like 3 crates of new vintage stuff. After we go through those, we're definitely going to take a field trip to the back and go through bins, and we're going to go through some stuff in the back. Buy it now, best offer. I've said that before, but we're definitely probably going to do that tonight. Unless for some reason all the stuff I have tonight ends up taking the time for a full show, but there's a lot. So first, let's go ahead and show some of the stuff from last night one more time for our first crate. Devo, that's the Devo Greatest Hits. That's on blue and red vinyl, $44.99. That's 50 years of de-evolution, and that's part of those new Rocktober exclusives. But we're now in November. It's November now. Poison, Flesh and Blood. That's on a green, clear-looking vinyl, $31.99. We still got ZZ Top, the best of ZZ Top on blue vinyl. And we have the Megadeth Euthanasia picture disc, $49.99. So Megadeth and ZZ Top there. Still got some Iron Maidens, The Number of the Beast, 1982, when that originally came out. That has been remastered, $36.99 for Iron Maiden, The Number of the Beast. We still got the Sparks from Friday Music. I'm kind of surprised. That's why I didn't order more than one, but I figured we'd find at least one person needing these Sparks albums. We've got this one, and I've got another one. This is on colored vinyl from Friday Music, $39.99. And we pre-sold 10 of this. I have 10 of these. I have not sold any live, and that's Jimmy Buffett's Greatest Hits, $29.99. Also, we have Pink Floyd Metal Remaster, $33.99 for Pink Floyd Metal. And I still got one copy left of The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That's on orange vinyl, $34.99. That's actually vinyl quality and not actually a picture disc. So really good job there by Kraft doing that. We have Led Zeppelin. Well, that's weird. A train's going by and the lights and the thing isn't down. That's dangerous. Led Zeppelin, The Song Remains the Same, 4 LP box set, $174.99. That's the deluxe edition of Song Remains the Same, $174.99. Also, we have Led Zeppelin's debut album, $31.99. We also have Houses of the Holy, $31.99. The Wall, $49.99. Physical Graffiti, and then get into some more deeper Pink Floyd stuff. This is actually like a Pink Floyd compilation they did. It's called A Collection of Great Dance Songs. As you know, it's very difficult to make a Pink Floyd greatest hits. This was kind of an attempt at that back in 1981, $33.99. That's called A Collection of Great Dance Songs. Also, Relics is $33.99. That's got some deep cuts from their early years. Arnold Lane, Simile Play, Careful with That Axe, Eugene, some of their psychedelia music. Led Zeppelin 3, $31.99. It's got everything from The Immigrant Song to Since I've Been Loving You on it. Wide variety of music on that album. And Kiss Unplugged, $44.99. I greatly enjoy this, actually. I love their version of Rock and Roll All Night Unplugged, where they take turns with the lyrics. $44.99. So, let's go through that crate one more time, just reading titles, and I'll bring up some new stuff. We have Devo, Poison. We had the Megadeth, the ZZ Top, Iron Maiden, Sparks, Jimmy Buffett, Pink Floyd Metal, Charlie Brown, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, and Kiss. Rob Band says he'll take a Kiss Unplugged. So the two biggest Kiss albums that I have around here in stock and available for sale that are normally out of stock and usually quite pricey are these two, and I'm missing my Kiss Alive 3. I think they're over here. I've got Kiss Alive 3, I've got Unplugged, and I've got Psycho Circus. Those are a few records in the Kiss catalog. Those are a few in the Kiss catalog that are normally a little bit more difficult to get, and I have all three of them available right now. I don't know where Unplugged is, but I've got them. So there, or Alive 3. But there's Unplugged for Rob, and we have Kiss Psycho Circus, $49.99. $49.99. The Megadeth was called Euthanasia picture disc. We have them right now for $49.99, and I have the cheapest one, Coletco, as of a couple nights ago. I don't know if anybody else has posted one, but a couple nights ago, I listed by far the cheapest one for $59.99, and these are $49.99 if you want one here. If you ever see anything on our Discogs page, let us know, because we may have it in stock cheaper here. Because sometimes I look up stuff on Discogs and like we have it in stock for $49.99 and the next cheapest one is $99.98 or something. So this is $49.99, and that's Megadeth Euthanasia, and I think that's probably one of the cheaper ones you can get right now. I actually got a bunch of them. They were about to ship me 30 more of them, and I actually told them to hold off. I didn't want any more because I've got about 20 on hand right now. And then the next question, or the next claim, was G. Michael wants a Led Zeppelin 1. Self-titled, can't go wrong there. And yes, for a picture disc, it sounds great. Don't let picture disc discourage you on this one if you're thinking about it. Two things. It's usually an expensive album when they go out of print, and it's not available on vinyl. It's only available as this picture disc. And Kiss Unplugged Brooks was $44.99. That is a 2 LP, and it comes with a poster. That comes with a poster as well. So $44.99, and those will be gone before long, and I won't be able to get them. So will Psycho Circus. Actually, that's my last two copies. It's been back there for a while. that no one's claimed. And but yeah, if you check on Megadeth, if you didn't know we had that in stock, I still haven't made a post, but I was like, well, I figured I'd sell them all here because I didn't want to oversell or undersell. But I've got that one that I just sold. Somebody just claimed it, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7. Maybe I should have had them go ahead and ship me those other 30. They was about to ship me 30 of them. I was like, oh, hold up on that. I need I've got plenty to sell because they're $49.99. They're not really a cheap price point for me either. They're a really well made picture disc. Jimmy Buffett, that's his greatest hits, $29.99. I've got 2 of these on eBay right now for $100 or best offer. I sold one for $100 a couple months ago, or probably a month ago now, and I sold, somebody offered $80 and I took their offer. So sometimes those dry up and get expensive too. This new vinyl is weird, as y'all always know. You never know about things. It's like the stock market. It's like one price one day, and then the next day it's something completely different. It can go way down, and then it can go way up. It's a very odd thing. I always tell people, if you want it and you feel comfortable paying that price, go ahead and buy it, because it's either going to go up or down, and you probably don't want to miss out. You know, I guess you'd rather, you know, if it's 50 now and you can see them later for 35, that's not too bad, but it sucks when you can buy it for $29.99 and 3 months later they're $180. So Psycho Circus is $49.99. $49.99. Vinyl prices are wild. You just never know, especially with some of this limited edition stuff. It's a lot better than it was in 2020 for sure. In 2020, people were like, if you could see something available, you better buy it because of production. You didn't know what was going to happen. So this is a crate of stuff that I think me and Paul both priced. It's a lot of new pre-owned stuff from that collection in Nashville. There's some sealed stuff in here from the Pittsburgh collection. There's some really good titles in here. It's a lot of sealed stuff from the Pittsburgh collection. So Megadeth is $49.99. I'm going to leave those right over here to the side. I'm going to go ahead and start going through some new stuff. We also got auctions. I'm about to get started. I got a few auctions off to the side. Megadeth is $49.99. Euthanasia. Euthanasia. All righty. Now, let's see what else I've missed out here, and let's go ahead and go through this crate. So a lot of new pre-owned and new vintage sealed stuff, if that makes sense, from Pittsburgh. Like, I don't know, some of this is like from, he bought new in 2001 and still sealed. So some pretty good titles in here. First is the Grateful Dead. This is Record Store Day 2017, $89.99. Look at that cover. Grateful Dead, July 29th, 1966. That was a Record Store Day 2 LP from 2017, $89.99. I like it when I've done the research on records. I've told y'all this before because I can remember what they, you know, when John and Paul's marking stuff, I just bring it up here and sell it. When I get to mark stuff, I can tell you a lot more about it. I've done the research. I can probably tell you what the cheapest one's active for, what's the most recent one sold, to let you know that most of these are very, very, very well competitively priced. I try to hit the number right on the button when I'm marking stuff. Pink Floyd, Interstellar Overdrive. This is a 2017 Record Store Day. It was a limited edition run, and it's in mono. Pink Floyd, Interstellar Overdrive. And that is $24.99. Pink Floyd record in there, and Grateful Dead. We're off to a good start. The Who, Live at Leeds. This is a 2017 half-speed master, just $24.99. When this was new, it was like $54.99. I remember them, half-speed master. This thing is pretty much in near mint condition. It has the original inner sleeve, $24.99. So when they remastered this, what they've done is they made it look just like the original gatefold with the inserts, but it's like a picture of them. They didn't reprint all the inserts. That would have been very costly. So, and they've got like an image of what it originally looked like at the beginning. So that's really cool. I actually gave that a spin for about the first 5 minutes just to see if it sounded really good, and it did, because I have an original of that with all the inserts, but man, that's hard to beat right there. Very good sounding record. Let me go back up to the top. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Brent Robley Wants the Who. Brent Robley Wants the Who. Brian Arrigo, You Were Second. And we have the Grateful Dead. John Dorsey, this is the Grateful Dead Live, July 29th, 1966. It was a Record Store Day release. It's numbered too. I'm pretty sure, no, it's not numbered, but it was a limited edition of 6,600, $89.99. That's now, of course, out of print, just that one time for Record Store Day. And I still have a Pink Floyd. Stone Temple Pilots, just $19.99. That's for Purple, Stone Temple Pilots Purple, 2013, 1999. Great album, Stone Temple Pilots, 1999. And Star Wars, I didn't know this was in print at all, and it's not. It was back in 2016. I think that's the last time they pressed this. $34.99. It's on gold vinyl, and that's the original Star Wars. Back then, it was known as Star Wars. Now it's Episode 4, A New Hope. But that's a 2016 pressing, $34.99. Gold vinyl, 2 LP, and I think it has no booklet. No, it just comes with the 2 gold LPs. Star Wars, $34.99. Grateful Dead is not sealed. No, it's opened and near mint. Opened and near mint. Grateful Dead, July 29th, 1966. Matt Ketchrin on Star Wars. That's sold to Matt Ketchrin. That is sold to Matt Ketchrin for Star Wars. And we have Bruce Springsteen, The Rising. This is $19.99 from 2020. By far the cheapest copy, active what I could see. Bruce Springsteen, The Rising. Just $19.99. 2 LP near mint. 2 LP near mint. $19.99. And I didn't know this was even... I consider myself a Beatles fan and collector. I didn't even know they did this. It's a 2 LP half-speed master of Sgt. Pepper's, $89.99. $89.99 for Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And what's very unique about this is it's a half-speed master, and the bonus disc has all those alternate takes and demos, which are, this is the only way you can get it on vinyl. They didn't do a Sgt. Pepper's box set. So this second disc from this half-speed master, $89.99, 2017 is when this was released. That bonus disc has those alternate takes, and then the main album is a half-speed master. So, and in the comments on Discogs, everybody's like, please repress this, because there's obviously a high demand for it. One of the only ways you can get some of those Sgt. Pepper's outtakes and demos on vinyl, $89.99, that's from 2017. So we got Star Wars for Matt Ketchrin. Next is John Wilson on Rising. That was for Bruce Springsteen. John Smetzer was second. John Wilson is going to take the Stone Temple Pilots. Tommy Flowers, you were second on Bruce Springsteen. Jack, you were third. Jason Walraven is going to get the Pink Floyd Record Store Day. So those are all sold. Let me go ahead and grab some of the first auctions for the night. We've got an empty slot back there, which means we need some auctions. I've got a Tool. I have an original Tool album, or I should say one pressed in the 90s. I've got some Elvis bootlegs. I have some Elton John bootlegs, and I have a Billy Joel bootleg. So we're going to start with Billy Joel, and we're going to try one of these Elvis as well. This actually isn't a bootleg. It's in a somewhat of an official press. But first, John Dorsey's going to get the Grateful Dead. Now somebody just needs that Sgt. Pepper's. I listened to Sgt. Pepper's and A Little Help from My Friends, and I was like, wow, that's that's why it's so pricey, or that's why it's obviously more in demand. I really wouldn't consider it pricey, but for sure. So I just pulled some stuff out last night from the Pittsburgh collection. Of course, there's hundreds and hundreds of bootlegs that we still hadn't got to. Here's one, and the only one I found so far by Billy Joel. This is Billy Joel, June 10th, 1976, New York at the Bottom Line, WNEW FM broadcast. This is a 2 LP Billy Joel bootleg, $45 start. The vinyl's very, very nice. It's on Unicorn Music, bootleg label, $45 start. So Billy Joel, Mr. Billy Joel, that's a $45 start. Live concert from 1976. And this is actually a French K-Tail Elvis compilation. Never seen it before, and it's sealed. It's got 40 tracks on it. It's from France, 1976, $15 start. Elvis Presley, Las 40 plus Grands something. It's a 40-track Elvis compilation from K-Tail. From France, it's sealed. It's a $15 start. I've got some obscure Elvis stuff. So he had several Elvis albums in his collection, but it's a lot of, just like anything else, bootlegs and very odd stuff I'd never seen before. Greg Scott wants a Kiss Unplugged. John Dorsey got the Grateful Dead. We already have bids on Billy Joel and Elvis. So Kiss Unplugged. This is sold to Greg Scott, Kiss Unplugged. And let's go back to the bin. So the only thing left right now is the Sgt. Pepper's Half-Speed Master. Def Leppard Hysteria, just $34.99. That is the 2 LP remaster, $34.99. Def Leppard Hysteria, $34.99. Brent, the Beatles is the 2017 Half-Speed Master. 2017 Half-Speed Master with the second LP, of outtakes and demos or alternate versions, and that is $89.99. Craig Ruth, first on Def Leppard. Got some great deals in this bin. And the thing about this collection we got in Nashville, there's plenty more where this came from. We have basically 2 crates of it tonight, and then I'm going to try to get some more like this for Rolling Stones night tomorrow night while we're showing new stuff. Pink Floyd, More. This was actually a soundtrack they did. Very mellow, psychedelic music. Soundtrack from the film More by Pink Floyd, $19.99. $19.99. Of course, those are new, $33.99. I have not seen Ted Nugent. No, I haven't. I have not seen any Ted Nugents. Okay, so Billy Joe, high bid. We do have a bid from Don Alker for $15. That's going once, going twice. That's a vintage Billy Joe. It's called Young Dreams. I know it looks like there's tape or something right here, but there's not. It's just a red, it's just the font or the color. Live on stage, June 10th, 1976, New York City at the bottom line. That's going twice, going 3 times. And Josie Sinkbell's the only one on the Elvis right now for $15. Josie's at $15 on Elvis. That's a sealed French K-Tel collection. $15 going twice, going 3 times. Craig got Def Leppard. Ryan Willis first on Pink Floyd. Christopher Morris is second. Ryan, that was $19.99. $19.99. You got it. Let me know if you don't want it. Christopher was second. Let me actually skip one and do Deep Purple in Rock. Deep Purple in Rock, that's another remaster from 2011, $24.99. Deep Purple in Rock. So a lot of these are new pre-owned records that are very well taken care of. This is from Friday Music. As y'all know, those new are $39 and $44.99 new. That is Deep Purple in Rock, Friday Music, $24.99 from 2011. Elvis is at $16, $18, $20. We're about to sell Billy Joe for $45. Pink Floyd, Metal, once again, $24.99, just like the ones we got in stock. Textured cover, 180-gram remaster. Pink Floyd Metal, $24.99. Beautiful vinyl. This is worth it just for echoes. We say it every time. $24.99. Greg Rogers is going to get Deep Purple. But we got lots of new bids on Elvis. 16, 18, 20, 22, and 25. And U2 October, $19.99. This is the newest in-print version of October. It has a book and the original inner sleeve. I want to let everybody know there's some hazing going on in the vinyl. Very unusual for new vinyl to look like this, but I test played it and it didn't cause any problems. So that has a booklet with it. I'm still advertising it as EX Plus. That's only $19.99, and that is sold to Thomas Hujar. Heather Feather was second. Josie is at $27 on Elvis, but we only had one bid. We only had one bid on Billy Joe, and that sold to Don Alker for $45. That was the only Billy Joe bootleg I have found in that collection so far. Let's go ahead and get one of the Elton John started. This is pretty unique. I should have kept the original sleeve that Dale had on it. It wasn't original to the album, but it was his original plastic sleeve where he wrote. But pretty much I copied it over. This is a $35 start. It's called Gulliver's Gone. And this was pressed in 1970. And what it was is Elton John's first album that wasn't released here in the United States until 1975. They used to bootleg it here in the United States because it wasn't released and everybody wanted it. And they called it Gulliver's Gone, Elton John. So this is actually a straight copy of Elton John's first album that was available here in the United States before it was officially released in the United States 5 years later. And so this is Elton John's first UK album. It's a direct studio copy, $35 start. So this is pretty much he had written on it a pirated copy that they pressed in 1970 before Elton John's first album was released. So pretty cool here. If you wanted to listen to Elton John's first record, that was the only way it was available here in the States until then. And that's a $35 start. That's called Gulliver's Gone. So that's pretty much a direct copy of Empty Sky as we know it now. Very cool there. So, all right, Elvis is at $26.27. And we have Pete Townshend's Classic Quadrophenia. This is only $14.99. It's a 2 LP, and this is the Quadrophenia pretty much done by Symphony. It also has Billy Idol and Pete Townsend. I think they're doing some of the music and maybe some of the vocals. Yeah, Billy Idol doing some of the vocals. So this is the Who's Classic Quadrophenia, and that is $14.99. Elton John is at 36, 35, 36, 38, 40, and Elvis is at 28. Elvis is at 28. Vicky is the high bidder. Frank Zappa, this is actually a new copy. One size fits all. It's a 2015 remaster, $24.99. I think new. I used to have these. They were like $39.99. 180 gram, near mint, well taken care of. One size fits all, $24.99. Jetstream wants the Quadrophenia, and Tom Sullivan wants the Metal by Pink Floyd. Those are all sold. Now we're just waiting for somebody to claim the very cool Sgt. Pepper's Half-Speed Master. There's Frank Zappa, and Albert King with Stevie Ray Vaughan, In Session, $24.99. That's In Session. Albert King and SRV, $24.99. That was pressed in 2010. And we have Pink Floyd, Piper at the Gates of Dawn, the 2016 stereo remaster, $19.99. Piper at the Gates of Dawn, $19.99. That was a little bit different Pink Floyd. You listen to this and then you listen to Wish You Were Here or The Wall, completely different type of Pink Floyd. There's some similarities, but a little bit different there. So Elvis, 29, Elton John, 42. Vicky's done on Elvis, so Josie Sinkbell has that for 29. G.C. Colleton is going to get the Albert King. Jack Suslak's at 43 on Elton John. And it looks like G. Michael was first to Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Colin, you were second, and Tom Sullivan was third. So those are all sold. Next is Stephen Wilson, Eminent Sleaze. That is sealed and unopened, $14.99. Stephen Wilson. He does his own music, but he's also known for being a great sound engineer and remastering all these classic albums, especially by Yes and Jethro Tull and who else? Peter Gabriel, maybe. Stephen Wilson, that is sealed, $14.99. Elton John's at 44. And we have Los Lobos, 10 Can Trust. Los Lobos is sealed, $34.99. So I think we're about to start getting into some of the sealed stuff from the Pittsburgh collection. A lot of that right there we just went through was opened, or some sealed stuff from that collection we got recently in Nashville. A lot of this is from Dale's collection. A lot of Record Store Day stuff he bought sealed that's now out of print. Stuff we don't see very often at all. That's why I went ahead and pulled it and priced it for tonight. So final call, if you missed it, this is a sealed French pressing from K-Tel International. It's 40 Elvis tracks. It is sealed. The high bid is with Josie Sinkbell at $29. That is going once, going twice. And then Elton John, this is a vintage bootleg of his first album that was available here in the United States before Empty Sky was released. It's a direct studio copy of his first album, Empty Sky, Valhalla. That's a really cool song. High bid on that was 44 and now 45 with Jack Suslak. Thomas Ujar first to Los Lobos. Thomas Baumhart is out on Elton John. Nicholas is second on Los Lobos. Government Mule. I'm going to show these at the same time. We got Stone Mule Volume 1 and Volume 2. They're both sealed, $34 and $24.99. Volume 1 is $34.99 and Volume 2 is $24.99. So whoever's first on this, you can tell me what volume you want, or you can take both of them. Government Mule, Stone Mule, Off the Mule Volume 1 and Volume 2. They're both sealed with hop stickers, $34 and $24.99. So I have both of those. I have both of those available. The Kinks, Live in London. I'm pretty sure this is one of those unofficials, $34.99. It's one of those, like, I think it's halfway official and halfway unofficial. It's relatively new, but it's two different live concerts, 1973 and 1977, and it's direct metal mastering cutting. That's just like that Linda Ronstadt release we had the other night. It's one of those, I think it's semi-legal, kind of like Parachute Records or something. I don't think it's an official, but they also don't deem it an unofficial. So that's sealed for $34.99. John Dorsey wants both government mules. Those are sold to John Dorsey and John Dorsey. Let's go ahead and sell Mr. Elvis Presley. I've got more Elvis obscurities to sell tonight. This first one, though, is sold to Josie Sinkbell for $29, and Jeff McMaster is the new high bidder on Elton John. Gulliver's Gone for $49. $49 on that. Let's see what I got over here in my auction bin. I've got Elvis. I got Elvis live from the Pittsburgh collection, live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. New Year's Eve, 1976. This is a full, unedited concert, 28 songs, rocking New Year's Eve of Elvis, and he was playing in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, December 31st, 1976. It's actually sealed. It's never been opened. Vintage bootleg or unofficial, $55 start on that. Elvis, rocking with Elvis New Year's Eve. That is a $55 start. Pittsburgh, December 31st, 1976. That is sealed, $55 start. Back to the bin. Kings of Leon. This is $24.99. It's a Record Store Day 10-inch. Didn't even know they did this. It's from 2011. It's on red vinyl. Kings of Leon, and that's called Holy Roller Novocaine. Kings of Leon, $24.99. That is sealed. And we have another 10-inch from David Gilmour, Arnold Lane with David Bowie and Richard Wright. Very cool, $24.99. I don't know if that was a record store day or not. It looks like something that would be, but David Gilmour with David Bowie and Richard Wright, which Richard Wright was the keyboardist. Those are 2 sealed 10 inches. And Jackson Browne, these are 2 sealed 12-inch singles, just $9.99. This is Jackson Browne, Downhill from Everywhere, and A Little Soon to Say. Those are sealed 12-inch singles from Jackson Browne, $9.99. So I'll put up the tool in just a second. First, Jeff got both of these 10-inch releases. He got Kings of Leon and David Gilmour. I got 2 Jackson Browne singles there. We're about to do a final call on Elton John, Gulliver's Gone. Jeff McMaster has that for $52. That's a final call. Tommy Flowers wants one of the Jackson Browne singles. I have one left. Downhill from Everywhere. Elvis is a $55 starting bid. Back to the bin. This is a sealed Jackson Browne, an original club copy. This is an original club copy, sealed, $14.99. Jackson Browne, Lives in the Balance. That is sealed and unopened, $14.99. And the Allman Brothers, Idlewild South, MoFi pressing, $99.99. It is sealed and unopened. The Allman Brothers, Idlewild South, a sealed MoFi pressing, numbered 5656, sealed and unopened, $99.99. James Rayner is going to get the Jackson Browne Lives in the Balance. Let's go ahead and sell Elton John to Jeff McMaster. Gulliver's Gone, that's sold to Jeff McMaster for $52. Final call to get a bid in on Elvis for a $55 start. Sealed complete concert from 1976. There's the Allman Brothers. And I'm going to skip another Allman Brothers and show you Widespread Panic. This is also sealed, $99.99. Record Store Day 2012, number 635 of 2010. Widespread Panic, live wood, sealed. Widespread Panic, that's $99.99. So back to back there, sealed records. We got a final call on Elvis. I'm going to go grab the next Elton John concert or Elton John bootleg. Let's take you back to December 22nd, 1973. Elton John put on a concert at the Hammersmith Odeon in London. This is a $45 start. This is called No Title. That's what it's called. No Title, recorded live at Hammersmith Odeon in London. And this is a $45 start. Vintage bootleg, just custom, hand-typed, typewriter labels. $45 start. Elton John, what a cool cover there too. Recorded live at Hammersmith. That's up for bid. All right, let's go ahead and make Elvis a buy it now. It's a 2 LP on Elton John, 2 LP. Let's make Elvis a buy it now, $55. If anybody wants Elvis rocking with Elvis, New Year's Eve, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, New Year's Eve, 1976. It's sealed and unopened, $55 buy it now. Elton John is a 2 LP, Hammersmith Odeon. All right, let's go ahead and show the other Allman Brothers. This is also $99.99, 4 LP, Atlanta International Pop Festival. This was a great concert. 4 LPs, 150 minutes of live Allman Brothers music. It's numbered 402, $99.99. It is sealed, a record store day from 2018 maybe. Sealed, $99.99, Allman Brothers. Look at that shot of them back there playing live. There's Dwayne, just absolutely amazing. Greg on the keys and vocals, of course. So $99.99 on that. And Justin Townes Earl live at Grimey's, $84.99. This is also sealed. Justin Townes Earl live at Grimey's, $84.99. $84.99. Henry's Choice, you're first on the Allman Brothers. There's actually 2 in here. I'm assuming you wanted the live one, but there's also Idlewild South, the MoFi pressing, still available. I've got 2 copies of this. It's the exact same. It's the exact same Graham Parsons. One of them just has a little bit different hop sticker, and this is $24.99. Graham Parsons, another side of this life. This is the lost recordings of Graham Parsons, 65 to 66. Those are both sealed. It's the exact same pressing, just one of them has a different hop sticker than the other. They're both by Sundays. $24.99. $24.99 for sealed Graham Parsons. So update on Elton John. We were at 45, and then Don Alker's at 46. So Thomas Hujar, you're outbid. Henry's Choice gets the live Allman Brothers. And the other Allman Brothers that's left is a MoFi pressing of Idlewild South. $99.99. Preston Rose wants a Graham Parsons. I have one Graham Parsons left if anybody wants it. Don's at 51 on Elton John. Thomas is at 55. So we've just sold something. What do we got up there? Elton John. Let me see what else I have over here in my auction bin. Let's go ahead and run this tool. This is usually something I would have promoted, and like we got a tool record actually pressed in the 90s. And boy, these are complicated to look up. But when I saw this hop sticker kind of obscured and up here on the cover, I was like, that's not normal, because they definitely always put them down here now, or it's actually printed on the jacket, I think. This was pressed in 1999. Of course, this album originally came out in 96, I believe. This is a 1999 pressing of Tool Undertow, and this is a $35 start, just a $35 start. Actually, a few of these Tool albums that's pressed in the 90s aren't really all that expensive. You know, we talk about Anima almost every night. Me and Paul actually looked one up. The cheapest copy of Anima right now on Discogs is like $1,500. That's definitely due a reissue or a repress. But this was pressed in 1999. It's near mint condition. It's Tool Undertow. First track, of course, is Sober. This is a $35 start for $35 start. Almond Atlanta 4 LP Discogs. That is what you got. Yes, that's correct. So 1999 copy of Tool Undertow, $35 start. Elton John, 51, 55, 56. Brian Arrigo's at 40 on Tool. 1999 pressing of that. Okay, back to the bin. We have a copy, another Graham Parsons. This one is $49.99. Graham Parsons, alternate takes from Graham Parsons and Grievous Angel. So one of his more popular albums, Grievous Angel. This is alternate takes from GP and Grievous Angel. Rhino 2 LP set, limited edition, plus 3 rare cover songs. $49.99 for that Graham Parsons. Couple really cool Graham Parsons record in there. There's another one. And another Allman Brothers, the original Record Store Day release of Fillmore East, February 1970. That is sealed, $69.99. That comes with one of those glow-in-the-dark posters that I think looks like the cover. I love the Allman Brothers covers whenever they put the psychedelic mushrooms on there. Very, very cool. That's Bears Sonic Journals. That is sealed Record Store Day, $69.99. Remember when that came out, I couldn't get one. I had a couple people looking for one. I ended up having to get mine on eBay that day for well over $100. I was like, man, because it looks so cool. I was like, wow, an unreleased Allman Brothers concert. And they only made, what, 1,500 of them? That's why they were so hard to get. Steve Young, sealed. This is actually an original sealed copy, To Satisfy You. This was sealed, I don't have the year, but it's not a new, it's a vintage record. Sealed, $14.99. $14.99. All right, let me get us updated on our auctions. The last thing I said was Thomas Hujar was at 55 on Elton John. Then Don Alker bid 56. Brian Arrigo bid 40 on Tool. Shane Devers bid 50. Elton John bid 58 on, or Thomas Hujar bid 58 on Elton John. Toby Grimm wants AB. He put DABAB, and I think he wants the Allman Brothers, right, Toby Grimm? So you get the Allman Brothers. Don Alker's out on Elton John. Looks like John Wilson was second on the Allman Brothers. Sherry Darnell was third. Darren Wortman wants a Megadeth Euthanasia picture disc. If anybody else wants a Megadeth Euthanasia picture disc, the newest 2023 repress, $49.99. I think you'll find that's one of the cheaper copies you can get of that. That's sold to Darren Wortman. Elton John's now at 60. And we have Elton John 62, 65. I do not have Cher's greatest hits. Let's make a note of that, because there's been a lot of people asked lately for Cher. We pre-sold a bunch of her Christmas albums. So we will make a note of that. And Tool, by the way, Shane Devers has this. Going once, going twice, the 1999 pressing of Undertow. So if you're looking for a vintage pressing, somewhat close to the OG of Undertow, this is about the best I can give you in a long time on this. And that's true. That Allman Brothers, that what we just sold was the original Record Store Day release. They are supposed to be re-releasing that. I missed the pre-order, but I should be having a few copies on the way. And I may, if I know how many I'm for sure getting, I'll go ahead and make a post. But yes, it's true. They're going to be reissuing that Allman Brothers. Elvis, I had never seen this before. It was mixed in with the bootlegs, but it's actually an official from 1988 US. It is on the RCA label. It's called the Alternate Aloha Album. The Alternate Aloha Album, 1999. And this is the unreleased dress rehearsals of the most watched TV special of all time, recorded at the Honolulu International Center, Friday, January 12th, 1973. Elvis, the alternate Aloha, dress rehearsals from that famous live TV broadcast. That's so to Jeff McMaster. He was first, Jason was second. Elton John, by the way, still getting bids, and now we have a final call on Tool. I think a couple people have set out. Shane Devers has this for $50, going twice, going 3 times. Next is a sealed Bob Marley. This is also really cool. This is $74.99. It is sealed. The last performance of Bob Marley, $74.99. His last performance was September 23rd, 1980 at the Stanley Theater, also in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, from the Pittsburgh collection. I didn't realize that. His last performance was in Pittsburgh. Bob Marley, $74.99. The full live concert, unforgettable performances of No Woman, No Cry, Jamming, Is This Love, Redemption Song, Could You Be Loved, mastered from the original reel-to-reel tape from the mixing board. It's a box set exclusive, the full concert on 380-gram LPs, and this is super deluxe packaging. It includes photos from the historic night plus reproduction of the Rare Uprising tour program, what you see there. So it's got a book, it's got a tour program, 3 LPs. It also has it on CD. It's in a nice box. Sealed Bob Marley, $74.99. Really cool set there. Sealed Bob Marley, his last concert ever. And Steven Wilson, To the Bone. Bone-colored vinyl, 2017 pressing, $19.99. All right, so Shane Devers gets the Tool for $50. Elton John is at $79 with Thomas Hujar. That was the Odeon concert. I'll go over that one more time in case anybody just hopped on and you don't know what's going on in the auction block. I will get you updated. I've also got a few more records over here to add to this crate, so let me do that right now. Let me add a few records, and actually, I'm about to show, let me do these, and let me grab our next auction. So we got Elton John. Let me put up another Elvis. Let me make sure this is what it's supposed to be. Yeah, okay. And let me add a few more records to this bin. Okay, so we have, our next auction is Elvis Presley. This is his Ed Sullivan performances from 1956, 1956, and 1957. So he performed 3 times on Ed Sullivan, 56, 56, and 57. And it's called From the Waist Up. And of course, y'all know that was a very controversial thing with him doing his shaking and legs shaking and hips shaking. And he was supposed to be filmed from the waist up, but I don't think they did it. I think that's what Ed Sullivan wanted, or the broadcasters, or whatever was going on, the executives at that time. But this is his original Ed Sullivan performances. It's a vintage unofficial Elvis Presley From the Waist Up, $35 start. And that's not a picture taken at the Ed Sullivan Theater, obviously. It looks like he's playing in a barn or something there. But how would you like to have been right there, front row, 1956, to see Elvis? Wow. $35 start. From the Waist Up, that is a $35 start. Jeff McMaster is going to get the Bob Marley box. I've got a few more pre-owned records here. Great deals, such as the Beatles, live at the Hollywood Bowl, from the Ron Howard film, 8 Days a Week. That's only $19.99. That is from 2016, $19.99. So final call on the Elton John. This is called... Sorry, I thought I had to sneeze. I muted my mic and everything. It went away. I scared myself. This is Elton John live at the Hammersmith in London, 1973. It's a 2 LP. Odeon, London, 1973. Thomas Hujar has that for $79. Final call. Josie Sinkbell just bid on Elvis for $35, and John Smetzer wants the Beatles. Beatles, Elvis, Elton John. We're throwing around some big names tonight. Jerry Garcia, $24.99. This was originally a Record Store Day release in 2016. It's on the purple marbled vinyl. Jerry Garcia, $24.99. It's called Reflections. Jerry Garcia, $24.99. Now I'm about to show 3 Pink Floyd albums, and to claim these, because I'm going to show all 3 in a row, you have to let me know exactly which album. But I've got 3 very nice, near mint, lightly used, it looks like they were just opened Pink Floyd albums. Great prices, but you have to let me know the exact name of the album first to get it. John Smetzer, hold on a second, John Dorsey on Jerry Garcia. And we have the first one, Uma Guma, 2 LP, just $24.99. These are new, normally $44 or $46.99. You even get the original cover with the Gigi artwork, $24.99. That's a 2016 remaster, Uma Guma. A momentary lapse of reason, $24.99. So momentary lapse of reason, let me know something in that keyword to let me know you want that one. And the last one is the final cut, also $24.99. And those are all 2016, 2017 remasters. So Ummagumma, we have momentary lapse of reason and final cut, and you have to let me know the name of the album. Let me know the name of the album to get one of those. Let's go ahead and sell Elton John, no title. No title. This is sold to Thomas Hujar for $79. We're going to make the Elvis Presley from the waist up a final call now. Josie Sinkbell gets that for $30, or that is at $35 of Josie. It's about to be hers if no one else bids. That's Ed Sullivan performances. Those have never been officially released, I don't think. Maybe if they are, they're chopped up. I don't think Elvis has ever, his label, whoever owns this stuff now, they've never put out like Ed Sullivan performances all together. I think there's some like on Legendary Performer, and I'm sure they're scattered here and there, but those are all three of them. All right, let's figure out who got these. I think Thomas Hujar put UH maybe for Ummagumma. If that's not right, then let me know, because it looks like Jeff Malwitz was second. But I think Thomas is getting that. We'll find out. Christopher Morris wants FC for final cut. Christopher looks like he was first to that. John Wilson was second to final cut. Tom was possibly third on that. And Stacy fourth. Joe fifth, it's looking like. And Jamie was first to momentary lapse. So I think Thomas got Ummagumma. Tanner. Final cut goes to... that goes to Christopher Morris, and Jamie Butler gets momentary lapse of reason. Looks like those are all sold. That was a great first crate of stuff. Let's go through that one more time. I'm about to grab our next Elvis auction and our next Elton John auction. So when I come back, I am about to sell these right here. So yeah, let's do this right here, and Jeff can have it. I'm looking for an odor. Okay, so let's do the, let's give Jeff Malwitz the Ummagumma then. So Jeff got Ummagumma, Christopher Morris got final cut, Jamie Butler got momentary lapse of reason, Josie Sinkbell got Elvis for $35. Now this Elvis is called Rock My Soul, also a vintage bootleg, $35 start, Elvis Rock My Soul. I've printed out direct from Discogs. This has got a lot of different live stuff on it. It has Ed Sullivan, it has gospel studio outtakes, it has live in Richmond, Virginia, another live track from 58. It has interviews, and then Dayton, Ohio, 72. And it's got explanations of what all those are. That's going to be slipped right back there in the back. So there's all the information straight from Discogs. $35 start, Elvis, Rock My Soul, vintage bootleg. I've got another Elton John. So there's Elvis Presley. Here's Elton John. This is the live performance from WABC-FM 1970. And actually, this bootleg... the popularity of this bootleg radio cord, Elton John, it caused the rush release for his now live album. We know it as 11-17-70 because this bootleg hit the market and it was so popular and with such great live cuts. They had to do a rush release on his official live album known as 11-17-70. Of course, if you know about Elton John, if you watch that film about him, he was known for bringing the house down in those early live performances. So they had to do a rush release. Everybody's like, wow, have you seen this guy live? You at least got to hear him. Elton John radio cord, $45 start. And that's a live performance from 1970, very early. And this actual bootleg calls the early release, calls that DJM label to do an early rush release of live 11-17-70. So those are now forbid. And if you noticed, it's on blue vinyl. It's called Radio Cord, Elton John. This is on Radio Cord label, vintage bootleg on blue vinyl, $45 start on that. Okay, so we have the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's, Half-Speed Master, $89.99. It's a 2LP. If you notice, you don't see a lot of 2LP Sgt. Pepper's. This is a Half-Speed Master. The second disc is the alternate outtakes and demos, which is, I'm pretty sure, the only way released on vinyl, because when they did a Sgt. Pepper's box set, they didn't press anything on vinyl. They just did it on CDs. We had one of those a couple weeks ago. It's about $100 for the 4 or 5 CD box set. That's on vinyl, $89.99 with the half-speed remaster. Frank Zappa, One Size Fits All, 2015, 180-gram remaster, $24.99. And Steven Wilson, this is called Eminent Sleaze. That's sealed and unopened. Steven Wilson, $14.99. The Kinks live in London, 2 different live recordings, 1973 and 1977. This is sealed $34.99. That's 1973 and 1977. Finsbury Park and Television Center London, sealed $34.99. Jackson Browne, Downhill from Everywhere, A Little Too Soon to Say, 12-inch single, new and sealed, $9.99 for Jackson Browne. Widespread Panic, live wood, $99.99. Widespread Panic, $99.99. And Justin Townes Earl, live at Grimey's, sealed, $84.99. Graham Parsons, Another Side of This Life. Graham Parsons is sealed $24.99. The Allman Brothers live, the Allman Brothers Idle Wide South, that is sealed $99.99. And we have Graham Parsons. This is sealed alternate takes from GP and Grievous Angels. That is sealed $49.99. Last 2 records, Steve Young, To Satisfy You, sealed $14.99. And this is Stephen Wilson, To the Bone, $19.99 from 2017 bone-colored vinyl. No bid on Elvis. We're looking for a $35 start. Rock My Soul. Christopher Morris is the new bid on Elton John. Radio Chord, he's at $46. What does 180 gram mean? Dan Boyle, 180 gram is the weight of the vinyl. So most releases are 120. Like if you get a vintage LP, if you have a vintage copy of Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, it's probably going to be on 120 or 140 gram vinyl. This new stuff, most of it is on 180 gram. It's thicker. It's for better sound quality. It also causes, you don't see a lot of new LPs warped anymore. It's very hard to warp 180 and 200 gram vinyl. You really have to try hard to warp that. You have to I don't see many new LPs warped at all. So that's one reason they do that. And it's for better sound quality, which also means it's a little bit more expensive. But yeah, most vintage LPs are 140. So any kind of vintage or old albums, 140 gram. Most of the new stuff is 180. A lot of it is 200. Yes, that's also a good point. Helps for less vibration. So when they started really remaking vinyl again, they put it on 180 gram to cut out with all the problems that they had back in the 70s and 80s. If you notice right there at a point in the early mid-70s, especially during the oil embargoes, they made vinyl very flimsy because vinyl is a petroleum product. So anytime you see the rising cost of fuel or gas or oil, you're going to see a price in new vinyl increases because all this is made from petroleum byproducts. So that's why in the 70s, you remember some of those Dynaflex discs that RCA made? There's some David Bowie albums you could literally curl up into a bowl almost. They're like really flexy. I mean, you can just shake them almost. Those Dynaflex labels that RCA made. So those are really thin and flimsy because of the oil embargo. Elvis is a $35 buy it now. This is a buy it now if anybody wants it for $35. And Elton John, Thomas Hujar, I just want to make sure you know you're out. Christopher Morris has this for $46. I know you said my mic was cutting out there for a second. So just so you know, Christopher Morris has this for $46 and it's a final call. So we got 2 Elvis bootlegs over here for buy it now, Rock My Soul and the other. And Chris Gardner is going to get the Elvis or Elvish. That's sold to Chris Gardner for $35. I got one other one that didn't sell. Thomas is back in. Now, I think y'all will like this one. This is the pretty desirable era of Elvis for sure. If everybody's asking for Elvis, this is the Burbank Sessions. This is Elvis, the Burbank Sessions, $35 start, Volume 1, June 27th, 1968. This is a vintage bootleg. That's Elvis in his black leather there, with everybody looking at him like they're in a trance. That is the 6 p.m. show and the 8 p.m. show, June 27th, and the 6 and the 8 p.m. show. He did 2 shows there back to back. $35 start. That's called the Burbank Sessions. Gatefold, lots of information. A very well done unofficial bootleg. That is a $35 start. Elton John's at $48. Elton John's at $49. Paul priced this crate last night before he left to go to Pittsburgh. He actually texted me a moment ago. Him and Tyler in Pittsburgh, they have officially bought the last of Dale's Pittsburgh collection that we've been selling now for almost 2 months. They went up there and bought even more stuff. So they're on the way back with more memorabilia, more autographs, more. I think they bought a jukebox and some other collectibles. So they even got a jukebox on the trailer. So they're bringing back the rest of Dale's collection. They're on their way back. They should be here late tonight or sometime tomorrow. No, they won't be here late tonight. They just up there right now. They'll be here sometime tomorrow probably. So, yeah, I can. Well, I have to do it on my app right quick. Okay. Let's see here. Let me do that right now, actually. I'll let you watch the comments for a second. Is it for sure gone? Like 100%? Okay. I'm going to mute my mic for 1 second. I got to go get something to drink anyway. Okay, I'm back. So, Tanner, I just need to know where we were at on Elton John because that's the only thing not on my screen anymore. Don Alker just bid $39 on Elvis. Let's go through this new crate that Paul priced last night. We have the Beatles. Christopher Morris has Elton John for $49. Thomas Hujar just came in at $50. And Elvis Presley's at $39 with Don Alker. Everybody else is out. Yellow Submarine, this is sealed, $22.99. We put mostly sealed because there's a tear in the hop sticker and it's got a tear in the shrink right up here, I think. Well, yeah, mostly, but yeah, it's mostly sealed. $22.99. $22.99. Elton John's back in at $51 with Christopher Morris. Bob Dylan, Joker Man, and I, sealed, Record Store Day 2021, $24.99. Amy's back in on Elvis at $42. Thomas is back in on Elton John at $55. Meatloaf, Hits Out of Hell. Meatloaf is sealed, $24.99 from 2019. First track is Bat Out of Hell, $24.99. Elton John at $51. Elvis Presley $42. Elton John $55. Christopher Morris on Bob Dylan. Elvis Presley $43. Elton John $56. We have Judas Priest. This is sealed, $26.99. This is 50 heavy metal years of music. That is Judas Priest's greatest hits on red vinyl, just $26.99. That is sealed, $26.99. And Post Malone, Stoney. That is on orange marbled vinyl, $44.99 for Post Malone, Stoney. Check out that, $44.99. Post. This has White Iverson on it, featuring Deja Vu with Justin Bieber, $44.99. We have Elvis Presley, $43, Elton John, $56. Do we have any Chuck Mangione? I do. I just don't know where they're at right now. When we go in the back to show discounted records, Phil Toretto, I guarantee you I can find you some Chuck Mangione. I bet we have 100 of them scattered throughout the store. Elton John's at $60. G. Michael first to the Judas Priest. Kevin Crowell, you were second. Clay Moore was third. Fred Carnell first on Meatloaf. Elton John's at $61. Troy Robinson wants Post Malone. Dominic, you were third on Judas Priest. Elvis Presley's at $45. Shakedown, you were next on Post Malone. Elton John's at $64. Don Alker's out. So Thomas Hujar has the vintage Elton John radio cord. This is actually a live bootleg that came out. And when they found this bootleg was hitting the streets, the label, it was so popular, the label had to do an early rush release of 11/17/70, which was Elton John's first official live Elton John. So Christopher's out. Thomas Hujar has this for $64. That's Elton John. High bid is $64. Vintage bootleg blue vinyl. Obviously a very well done recording. And the Burbank Sessions, the Elvis comeback era is what I call it. That is at $45 of Amy, and Don Alker's out on that. That's a final call to Amy Hutchins. And this is Elvis, the black leather jacket era, and that is a final call. I don't know anything about the jukebox right now. When we get it in, I'll definitely post some pictures. I've got some large items here in the store we've recently acquired. I've got a Kiss table. I've got a Kiss table that looks like a 45, it looks like an album of Love Gun. It comes with 2 Kiss bar stools. I can't obviously ship that. I have the gigantic Kiss bust. I got some gigantic Kiss dolls, and now we've got a jukebox, and there's another big item in the back I've been meaning to tell y'all about. I've got to just post pictures of that and let y'all know we have it. So if anybody wants them and you can come get them, great, because that stuff we can't ship, or we could, but you'd have to arrange somebody to come pick it up. You know, there's companies and local individuals that can come pick stuff up for you on a route, and they can deliver. We sold a gigantic, really expensive Coke porcelain sign one time. A private individual came and picked it up and delivered it to the guy. Of course, he was willing to pay like $1,000 to have that done, but it was a $9,000 sign. But some of this big stuff, you can have that done. Tom Petty, Highway Companion. This is sealed, $44.99. $44.99, Tom Petty Highway Companion. That is actually sealed, remastered from the original analog masters, $44.99. Let's go ahead and end these auctions. Elton John is sold to Thomas Hujar for $64, and Elvis is sold to Amy Hutchings for $45. Tom Petty is sealed, $44.99. The Beatles is sealed, $22.99. And we have Chuck Berry, The Great 28. Chuck Berry is sealed, Super Deluxe box set, just $34.99. Sealed, $34.99. And I believe that's on colored vinyl, if it's like the ones we had not too long ago. And it comes with the Berry Christmas EP from Chuck Berry. That's sealed, $34.99. And Soul Train, John Coltrane, Analog Productions, Mono, $39.99. I think we're about to get into some more really cool pre-owned jazz stuff here. So I've actually got 3 more Elton John bootlegs, and they're all different versions and different looking than the ones we've already sold tonight. So first, let me try another one of these Gulliver's Gone. We sold one earlier. I'm also going to mute my microphone. I'm actually going to take a drink of water this time. I didn't earlier. I had to do something on my phone. Okay, I'm back now. I actually took a drink of water that time. Or actually, first time I've had one of these in a while. If y'all can tell, I'm talking a little bit faster. First time I've had the devil juice in quite some time. Monster, I haven't had one. My body's not used to it. I'm like, wow. I told Tanner after a few sips, I'm like, oh my gosh. I feel like I'm in a completely different level right now. So we have, first, here's Gulliver's Gone. It obviously has a different cover, so if you missed out on one earlier and you missed what I was talking about this is actually a bootleg of Elton John's first album before it was officially released here in the United States. This is Elton John, Gulliver's Gone. This is a really clean copy too. It's the bootleg of Elton John's first album before it was released officially 5 years later in the United States. $45 star. Really cool one here. Has a early shot there of Elton John. Man, I love the early Elton John stuff. It's incredible, incredible music. We have next is Fred Carnell wants the Chuck Berry box set, sealed box set, just $35. And Chris B. Jack's going to get the John Coltrane. All righty. We have Grant's First Stand, Grant Green, Babyface, Willett organ, and Ben Dixon drums, $27.99. Another Blue Note, $27.99. So Thomas Baumhart at $45 on Elton John. That is available. And actually, my other auctions are in the back. I'll have to go get those in 1 second. So we'll leave Elton up for right now. Mark Lent wants Grant Green. That's sold to Mark Lent. And Tenor Madness, Sonny Rollins Quartet. Another Analog Productions in mono, $39.99. Tenor Madness, Sonny Rollins. These are beautiful, well-done looking records. Most of them have inserts with them. $39.99 for Sonny Rollins, Tenor Madness. The Magical Mystery Tour, sealed, just $22.99. These have tears. It looks like somebody tore off a price tag on this and the Yellow Submarine from earlier. But man, I mean, these are new. These are now $44.99 new, I think. Magical Mystery Tour, just $22.99. Sealed. We got that in a collection somewhere or another, so great deal on that. And Miles Davis on the corner. I haven't had original of that in a long time. Always really cool artwork on that one, I always thought too. That's a Music on Vinyl remaster from 2012, $34.99. So no claim on Sonny Rollins, but we do have a couple people wanting Magical Mystery Tour. That's with Heather Feather at $45. Thomas Baumhart has Elton John for $45. That's a final call. And this is my last. I've got 2 Elton John bootlegs after this, and they're actually different versions of the ones we've already sold tonight. But this is my last copy of Gulliver's Gone. $45 of Thomas, final call. Mark Lent wants Miles Davis. Brian C., you were second on Magical Mystery Tour, by the way. And the first is an Impulse acoustic sound, The Blues and the Abstract Truth. Bill Evans, Roy Haynes, Eric Dolphy, Paul Chambers. Great lineup, Paul has a note. Audiophile acoustic sounds, $39.99. $39.99. Thomas Hujar is at $46 on Gulliver's Gone. New bid. We also have Ray Charles, Genius and Soul equals Jazz. Arrangements by Quincy Jones. This is another Impulse. Somebody took really good care of these and kept the hype stickers. I love that. I'm a hype sticker fan. So really cool that they did that. Another audiophile pressing from Acoustic Sounds, $29.99. So The Blues and the Abstract Truth, Ray Charles. And we have Art Blakey and his Jazz Messengers chipping in on clear vinyl, $29.99. This is Art Blake and his Jazz Messenger. This is actually a 2LP, clear vinyl, $29.99. Thomas Bonhart, you're out on Elton John. Thomas Hujar, we got 2 Thomases on Elton right now. Thomas is at $46. Floating Points, Pharoah Sanders and the London Symphony Orchestra. Pharoah is $22.99. That's called Floating Points, $22.99. Toby Grimm, first to Art Blakey. Thomas Hujar was second. Floating Points, Pharoah Sanders. Here's a classic, John Coltrane Quartet, Ballads with McCoy Tyner. That is Acoustic Sound Series Remaster, $39.99. Thomas Baumhart's out on Elton John. Thomas, you have that for $46. Final call on Gulliver's Gone, $45 on that. I'm looking for another auction. I'll step to the back and get something. Let me see what I've got over here. I've got the rest of them in the back. I forgot to bring them up before the show started. Let me grab something over here. We'll do a fun $1 start. This is Steve Miller Band Anthology. $1 start. $1 starting bid. Anthology is the best of Steve Miller Band, 68 to 72. The gatefold has a booklet with it. Has a multi-page flip. There's all the tracks. It's actually a 2LP. About a VG Plus cover. No condition notes on the vinyl. It's a solid EX or EX Plus. And this is a $1 start. $1 start. Steve Miller Band Anthology. We'll put that up for bid. I'm about to sell Elton John and put up the other one to Thomas for $46. Colin Butler wants Floating Points. That's sold to Colin Butler. And Steve Miller Band's now up for auction. John Coltrane still available. And we have Mingus at Carnegie Hall from the Runout Groove. Very cool. This is a 3LP remaster. Charles Mingus at Carnegie Hall, $39.99. Steve Miller Band, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. And we have Jaco Pastorius, Truth, Liberty, and Soul, a Record Store Day Black Friday. Boy, this is a heavy record. $59.99. It's a 3LP numbered Record Store Day release from 2022. $59.99. Jaco Pastorius. Some say one of the greatest bass players of all time. Steve Miller Band, 8, 9. Tom Sullivan gets the Charles Mingus. Steve Miller Band, 10, 10, and another person at 10. So we're going to be bidding on that for a while. Let's pull Edward Star Wars, the Jaco Pastorius, and let's sell Elton John. Elton John is sold to Thomas Hujar for $46. Let me do another. And Tanner, that was supposed to be on the bottom of the stack, that Art Blakey there. So I got those kind of out of order. That was the first. So that is, yeah, that was sold to, yeah. No, let's see. That is sold to Toby Grimm. Okay. Toby Grimm got that one, yeah. Okay, so that's sold to Thomas. And let me grab the next Elton John. I got some records out of order there. Try to keep Tanner's life a little bit simpler. Hammersmith Odeon. So here's another vintage bootleg of the Hammersmith Odeon. It's another 2LP. This is on the Corny Phone label. $45 start, so a little bit different cover artwork here than the other one we had. It actually has various snapshots of Elton on the front. The actual jacket has some damage, if that means anything to you. Has the Xerox page there on the front. It at one time was taped, no longer is, but that's another Hammersmith Odeon vintage bootleg, solid EX, EX Plus vintage bootleg there from Elton. And there was a lot of interest in that one earlier. There's the other one, and that's the last one I have. Just a little bit different version. Same concert, pretty much the same recording, just on a different label. Okay, so Edward was the last claim. That was Jocko Pastorius. Got my first shipment today. Great packaging. Thank you, James Ludwig. I think we've had 3 different people here today shipping stuff. Doug was here shipping earlier today. Ed's been here all day shipping. Jake just came up from the back. He's tagging records right now, but he was shipping earlier. We're getting lots of orders out. Steve Miller Band's at $18. Sandra, you are second to Mingus. Darren Wortman wants the Tom Petty from earlier in the bin. That's sold to Darren Wortman. Steve Miller Band was $20. Elton John's at $45. Steve Miller Band $21.25. Next record is Abbey Road, sealed, $22.99. Once again, it looks like there was probably a price tag here and somebody ripped it off at some point, but it's still sealed. Abbey Road, the Giles Martin remix, $22.99. Abbey Road. Some kind of box set here. What do we have here? This is $44.99. I think Paul just bought one of these. We must have had 2 of them. Kasami Washington, the Epic, $44.99. Highly recommended by the guy on the back. Mr. Paul says he recommends this. $44.99. Kasami Washington. And I'm pretty sure he just bought one of these. We must have had 2 in the back, or we got 2 at the same time, but Paul just bought one of those. He says really good. Soul of a Nation. Jazz is the teacher. Funk is the preacher. This is the art ensemble of Chicago. The Pharaohs. Funkadelic. The Oneness of Juju. Gil Scott-Heron, Don Cherry Tribe, and more. Wow. That is $36.99. That's a fantastic 3 LP compilation. $36.99. All right, so we was at 45 with Don Alker on the Elton John Hammersmith. Don has that for 45. Final call. Steve Miller Band, $21.25. Christopher Morris was at 25. G. Michael's out, so that's at 25, the Steve Miller Band Anthology. Thomas Hujar bid 46 on Elton John. Don bid 47. Javi out on Steve Miller. Mark Lent wants the Kasimi Washington. That's sold to Mark Lent. Debbie Whited is going to get the sealed Abbey Road. Colin Butler wants Soul of a Nation. That's sold to Colin Butler. Sandra was second, and Thomas Hujar, you were second on the Kasimi Washington. Tom Sullivan is the new high bidder on Elton John at $50. Next is World's Experience Orchestra, The Beginning of a New Birth as Time Flows On, $49.99. The artist is World's Experience Orchestra, $49.99. World's Experience Orchestra, The Beginnings of a New Birth as Time Flows On, $49.99. Final call on Steve Miller Band. The high bid is $25 to Christopher Morris. That's a 2 LP anthology gatefold booklet. We started that at $1. Looks like we're at $25 for the final call. Now, what do we have here? These all look like similar records, but it looks like they're all different. Let's see what they are. Doug Carn, Spirit of the New Land, featuring the voice of Gene Carn, $22.99. It's on Black Jazz Records. Seminole Spiritual Jazz from the highly collectible jazz label. I was about to say, anything on that label is usually extremely rare and expensive. The first LP reissued of 72 Classic. I'm sure these are some, looks like we're about to have some reissues of some very rare jazz albums. Soul, funk, stuff in that genre. That's sold to Colin Butler. Elton John's at $55. Let's go ahead and sell Steve Miller Band for $25. Steve Miller Band sold for $25. Let me see what else I have over here. Let's see here. Frank and Moon Zappa, Valley Girl, $1 start. Frank Zappa and Moon Zappa, Valley Girl. Generic inner sleeve, that's a $1 start. You Are What You Is, and Valley Girl, $1 start on that. That is on Barking Pumpkin Records, $1 start. Frank and Moon Zappa, that's up for bid. Next is Walter Bishop Jr. Choral Keys, $22.99. Prime Piano Quartet and Quintet Stylings from the legendary Black Jazz label featuring Woody Shaw, Harold Vick, and Idris Muhammad. First ever U.S. vinyl reissue, $22.99. Elton John's at $57.58. We got 3 bidders on Elton John for the other Hammersmith Odeon concert. Frank Zappa's at $1 and $5, and Colin Butler wants Walter. Preston Rose is also at $5 on Frank Zappa. So Tanner, that was sold. That was, actually, that's Collins, and that was the auction that was sold. Getting stuff out of order here. So the Elton is another Hammersmith Odeon, just like we sold earlier, just a different version from Corny Phone label, 1973 London. That's up for bid, $59. Jack's at $60. We have Keeley Patterson, Maiden Voyage, a sublime 1973 jazz vocal session from the highly collectible jazz label Liner notes included, $22.99. Keeley Patterson. So Frank Zappa's now at $6 with Preston Rose. Elton John's at $61. Roland Haynes, Second Wave, $22.99. Paul says he highly recommends. Mega Collectible, 1975 release from the legendary Black Jazz label featuring dueling Fender Rhodes from Roland Haynes and Kirk Lightsey. Wow. Roland Haynes, $22.99. $22.99. It looks like Colin is going to get Keeley and Roland Haynes. Colin, I think he's 4 for 4 on the Black Jazz label reissues. And here's number 5, The Awakening, Hear, Sense, and Feel. This is $22.99. An insanely collectible 1972 ensemble from the legendary Black Jazz label featuring Frank Gordon, Ken Chaney, Ari Brown, Steve Galloway, Reggie Willis, and Arlington Davis Jr. That is sold to Colin Butler. Him and Mark was battling those out. I think Colin got all 5 of them. Colin got The Awakening too. That's sold to Colin Butler as well. So now, those 5 records we just sold. I haven't done the research, but I guarantee if you try to go buy original pressings of those in near mint condition, it would cost you, I'd say, well into the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to buy original pressings of those. We were looking at some stuff last night that's extremely rare. There's a record called Megaton that was on Darum. The last one sold was 2 years ago for like $3,800. It's a rare psych album. There's some albums out there that are insanely rare, like in the thousands of dollars, and they pretty much never come up for sale, especially in jazz, funk, soul, and psych. Mingus, a classic, The Black Saint and the Center Lady. Charles Mingus is Acoustic Sounds series, $39.99. $39.99. And Miles Davis, Miles in the Sky. Music on vinyl, his legendary 1968 album featuring Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Ron Carter, Tony Williams, and George Benson. EX edition, $31.99. $31.99. Jazz record of Idris Muhammad condition. I think those are all gone, right? Idris Muhammad. Those are all sold. Mark Lent. Those are all sold. Edward Star Wars wants the Sonny Rollins. And now, is this some stuff still available? Sonny Rollins, yep, Edward Star Wars, Sonny Rollins. And Jetstream wants Miles Davis. Let me update everybody on our auctions right quick. First, we've got Elton John here, the Hammersmith concert. Jack was at 65, Thomas was at 66. Thomas Hujar is at 66 on the Elton John Hammersmith Odeon concert. Thomas has that for 66. This cover here, this is World's Experience Orchestra, the beginning of a new birth as time flows. That is $49.99. $49.99. Ryan Willis, the Coltrane, John Coltrane Quartet is $39.99. Ballads, acoustic sounds. I'm about to go back through this crate. Also, a final call. Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa is at $9 with Tom Sullivan. That's the last bid I seen. Valley Girl, Frank and Moon Zappa, Valley Girl, that's at $9. $9 with Tom Sullivan, final call. Jackson on Elton John, final call, Thomas Hujar, $66. Okay, Chris B. Jack got Miles Davis. Now, there's no Miles Davis left. The last Miles Davis was sold to Jetstream, and that was the music on vinyl. Here's what's left in this amazing jazz, soul, funk bin we had. The first record was not jazz or funk. It's the Beatles. There's a couple of funky songs on here, like Hey Bulldog and Yellow Submarine. But that's sealed. A Beatles stereo remaster, $22.99. That's the original stereo remaster of Yellow Submarine. The Blues and the Abstract Truth, acoustic sounds, $39.99. That's with Bill Evans, Roy Haynes, Eric Dolphy, Oliver Nelson, Paul Chambers, and Freddie Hubbard. That's called The Blues and the Abstract Truth, $39.99. Ray Charles, Genius and Soul equals Jazz. Ray Charles, acoustic sounds reissue, $29.99. Mingus, The Black Saint and the Center Lady, acoustic sounds, $39.99. And then this obscure record here, the artist is called World's Experience Orchestra, $49.99. And the last major jazz album here, John Coltrane Ballads, $39.99. Those are all near mint, extremely well taken care of. Debbie's going to get Yellow Submarine. Thomas Hujar is going to get Elton John. Elton John sold to Thomas for $66. And we have Zappa sold for $9 to Tom Sullivan. those are all sold. So that's what's left of that. I'm going to set those over. Tanner has all of our new vinyl pressed. Now, there's one thing I've got to do with the new vinyl. We just got these marked. I hadn't pulled pre-orders. So what I'm going to do is show stuff. I'm going to show some of these, and if there's something that was a pre-order or waiting list, I will let y'all know. Actually, there isn't except for this major pre-order on Dirty Honey. So I'll show these right now. We'll count them out and see how many extras we sell. So let's go ahead and put up another auction. Here's the last Elton John bootleg that I have. And then I've got one other Elton John I'm going to put up for auction, but this is the last one I have. Here's another copy of that Radio Chord record we were talking about, that live bootleg. Amazing live performance by Elton John from 1970. It was an FM broadcast, which caused DJM to do a rush release of that first Elton John live album. So here's another version of that. It's Radio Chord, Elton John. That's what the bootleg's called. This one's on black vinyl with a yellow label, $35 start. $35 start. So there's our next auction. Let me pull out another dollar start record over here. Let me find something in the bin, and we'll put it up for $1. How about, we've got a couple of these laying around. We do have a couple of these laying around. Let's send it to a new home. Rush, All the World's a Stage, $1 start. High bidder will win. Original trifold cover. I think they're all like that, but just so you know, it is a trifold open cover. Has the original generic wide inner sleeves. No condition notes on the vinyl. Rush is a $1 start. About a VG cover. It does have some ring wear, some cover wear, a couple creases. The cover's been well loved. The vinyl was well taken care of. All the World's a Stage. Bastille Day, Anthem, Fly By Night, In the Mood. I like that one. Lakeside Park, and then they do 2112. By Tor and the Snow Dog. Of course, that's a long extended version of that, just like the studio. In the End, Working Man. Wow. Finding My Way and What You're Doing. A great live performance by Rush. Look at that drum set. How'd you like to have that sitting in your living room? I don't know where all of his drums are at, but man, if those were put up for auction just like that, they belong in a museum for people just to come and look at and just get in a trance staring at them, probably like I would. So, okay, Elton John's a $35 start. Rush is at $5, $10, $5, $10, $15, $20, $12, $20, $20, $25, $35. No, Elton John's at $35. Elton John's at $35. Rush is at $20. Got some really cool stuff in here I haven't had in stock in quite some time. Since this is Wednesday, I can restock these and have them by the end of the week. The first one is The Cure, $44.99. So this is about the most affordable version of this album I've seen available. Disintegration, $44.99. I have one copy, and then I'm going to take waiting list on some of these. This one is $44.99, The Cure, Disintegration, 2 LP. I think it's technically listed as an import, but right now it's about the only cheapest version I could see, and I know a lot of people's been asking about it. Let me try to find my other cell phone, because I'm about to have to pull up Dirty Honey and read that one off. So, The Cure, Disintegration, $44.99. That is available. Okay, so there's The Cure. That's sold to Dominique Musolino. If anybody else wants one, let me know. I'm going to reorder more anyway, so just let me know. Wasp, Babylon. Wasp is $28.99. Gatefold single LP. New and sealed Wasp, $28.99. And that's from that era. That wouldn't be like in their new box set that just came out. I don't think it is. Babylon, $28.99. Very cool here. Misfits, Evil Live, $28.99 for Misfits Evil Live. Joe Willinger wants Wasp. Misfits is $28.99. And we have Blink-182, Enema of the State. Blink-182, Enema of the State, $36.99. Update on our auctions. Elton John's at $35 with Don Alker. That's going twice, going 3 times to Don Alker. Only bid, never mind. Jack's at $40. And Rush is at $25 with James Ludwig. All the World's a Stage. No condition notes on the vinyl. VG cover, $25 with James Ludwig, going once, going twice. Now, here's the new Dirty Honey. If you know for sure you're not on the pre-order, go ahead and let me know. Let me pull up the list for this. Dirty Honey. Let's see here. Dirty Honey. Let me find. Oh, our Wi-Fi's not working too good here, is it? I don't think we have Wi-Fi. Well, if we do move this cart to the back, I'm going to have to connect to my hotspot. So let me pull this up. Okay, so Elton John was at 40. Nick Bargeron wants Blink-182. Almost said Blink-242. I don't know where I come up with those digits, but I didn't say it. He said, never mind, so that's still available. Dirty Honey is the new album. Comes out Friday. This is the indie exclusive clear vinyl. Their first album was a success. I actually saw them open for somebody. I'm trying to figure out what concert I saw them open for somebody at. It was at the Bridgestone. Can't Find the Breaks, $33.99. That's the new indie exclusive. This is Dirty Honey. Let me read off everybody that I have on the pre-order, and I'm going to count them out to see how many extras I have. I have Brian Dismore. Let's see here. Brian Dismore, Joe Hawkins, Philip Young, Amy Hutchings, Eric Fisher, Dylan Weishaupt, and Greg Neal. I also have Richard Davis, Robbie Reasonover, Jeremy Walker, Scott Beebe, Bob Reiger, Scotty Hops, Todd Tipton, Kevin Jordan, Scott Smith, and Michael Marth. That's everybody who got one. Looks like I got 3 extras. I got 3 extras. I'm going to read through those one more time to make sure. Brian Dismore, Joe Hawkins, Philip Young, Amy Hutchings, Eric Fisher, Dylan Weishaupt, Greg Neal. Also Richard Davis, Robbie Reasonover, Jeremy Walker, Scott Beebe, Bob Reiger, Scotty Hops, Todd Tipton, Kevin Jordan. And then 2 within the last 24 hours was Scott Smith and Michael Marth. So those are all pre-sold there. Tanner? Not Tanny. Tannehill? Tannehill? Those are all sold. And then we can claim, I got it. I'll turn them this way like that. Trust me, I'm a professional at loading crates of records. All right, those are sold. Nick Bargeron wants one. They're $33.99. It's the indie exclusive. Let me show you a picture of it. That's what it's going to look like. Indie exclusive, kind of like clear purplish vinyl almost. Kind of like the cover, kind of a graffiti type mixed color there. That's sold to Nick Bargeron. GC wants one, and Joe Willinger wants one. Joe, did I just read your name off? I thought I just read your name off. The pre-order? Oh, for Dirty Honey? I thought I just read Joe's name off, but if I didn't, there's him one there. So, the one from last night I think is sold. I think the one last night is sold. Let me update our auctions before we get too deep in the comments because we had some new bids. Elton John was at 41. Rush went to 26 with Brian Arrigo. Elton John's at 42. Elton John's at 43. James is back in on Rush at 27. Open for the Black Crowes. That's it. Tanner, you were there. Yeah, it was me and Tanner. We went and seen Black Crowes, and yeah, that was at the Ascend Amphitheater. I knew I'd seen them somewhere. Great show. They had people on their feet. Rush is at 27. Nick Bargeron got a Dirty Honey. GC got one, and Joe Willinger. And then Matt Ketchern, if it's okay, I obviously need to reorder more. We had like 5 people come in late on the pre-order. I had enough to have like 10 extras to sell, but I leave the post up until the day of the release in case anybody wants to come in and pre-order one late. If I have extras, you can get one. So here's another Wasp album, Golgotha. Wasp, and that is $34.99. The location where Christ was crucified, $34.99. Wasp, $34.99. A Perfect Circle, a 13th step, a Perfect Circle, new and sealed, $44.99. $44.99 on a Perfect Circle. And Fugazi, this is called 7 songs. 2, 4, 6, yeah, 7 songs. Fugazi, $24.99. Update on our auctions. Elton John, last one of the radio cord, 45 and 46. And Rush is a final call. James Lugwood's at 27. I want to make sure Brian Arrigo didn't want back in. James Lugwood has this for 27. Brian, let me know if you want back in. Final call on Rush. Mark Cunningham on Fugazi. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show 2 other, actually, yeah, let me go ahead and show this one. Here's another Perfect Circle. Now, I haven't had this one in a while. $46.99. A Perfect Circle, Eat the Elephant. I haven't had that one in a while. A Perfect Circle, Eat the Elephant. $46.99, 2 LP. And actually, I thought I had it back ordered, and I'm glad I was looking this artist up because otherwise I would have missed them because they didn't have them in my cart. So I didn't have them back ordered. That is $46.99. I've got 2 of those. I have 2 of those because I hadn't seen that one in a while. Mark Cunningham got Fugazi. We have both outs on Elton John, or an out on both auctions. So final call on Elton, 46, and final call on Rush for 27. We're about to sell both of those. James Taylor's Greatest Hits, remastered by Peter Asher, $33.99. Gatefold, James Taylor's Greatest Hits, $33.99. Something in the Way She Moves, Fire and Rain, Country Road, You've Got a Friend, How Sweet It Is, Mexico, $33.99. And the other, A Perfect Circle, is called Mur de Noms, also $46.99. So there's 3 different Perfect Circle albums, 13th Step, Eat the Elephant, and Mur de Noms. And we have another Wasp, The Best of Wasp, $46.99. Wasp, The Best of Wasp, 1984 to 2000, $46.99. Joshua Cross wants Mur de Noms by Perfect Circle. That's so to Joshua. Tanner, we're going to go ahead and sell these auctions. Radio Chord, Elton John. That is sold to Don Alker for $46. And Brian Arrigo gets Rush. Brian Arrigo gets Rush. No, James Ludwig. Brian was out. James Ludwig. James Ludwig gets the Rush for $27. We are caught up. Okay, and Brian C., I only got 1 copy of Mur de Noms. So if you want on a waiting list, let me know. I'm going to be reordering any more anyway, and they should be in by the end of the week. So Joshua got that one. Brian on a waiting list. Here's what's left in this bin. I've got another Elton John record from the Pittsburgh collection. This is something I think somebody in the group just posted this, maybe Stacy. It's a really cool record, actually. It's a Elton John special limited edition featuring hit songs from 4 albums. So it has Sad Song, Say So Much, Blue Eyes. I guess that's why they call it the Blues and Nobody Wins. And the B-side is Blank, and it has an etching of Elton John's autograph. It says, All the Best, Elton John. I don't know if y'all can see that too well, but it does have an etching on there. $5 start, so it's a 4-track limited edition promo. It's a white label promo, $5 start, and it has the autographed etching on the back. $5 start on that. So there's Elton John. That's a $5 start. And our next auction here, let me see what else I have over here for a $1 start. Let's do, let's see what else I have in here. Because this crate here, I think I'm actually about ready to show, half off. Let's see. Here we go. Steely Dan. A Countdown to Ecstasy. Steely Dan. No condition notes either. $1 start on Steely Dan. Countdown to Ecstasy. This is the MCA Rainbow Sky label. Razor Boy. That's a good song. Steely Dan. Countdown to Ecstasy. My Old School. King of the World. $1 start on that. That's that's Steely Dan Countdown to Ecstasy. That is now up for bid. $1 start. Steely Dan Countdown to Ecstasy. $1 start on that. So Elton John promo, 4-track with the etched autograph on the back, and Steely Dan Countdown to Ecstasy, a late 70s, early 80s, more so like a 1980 pressing, I believe. It may actually say 1980 on the label. Yeah, 1980 pressing of this, up for bid. Steely Dan. All right, here's what's left in this crate of new vinyl. Misfits, Evil Live, $28.99 for the Misfits, Evil Live, $28.99. Blink-182, Enema of the State, $36.99. Blink-182, Misfits, Blink-182, Wasp, $34.99. James Taylor's Greatest Hits, $33.99. And A Perfect Circle, and Wasp, The Best of Wasp, $46.99. That is up for bid. Steely Dan's at $5, Elton John's at $30. I had 2 crates of new stuff priced, and we have already flown through those. Those were great crates too. There's not much left. What I plan on doing tonight was doing a lot of vintage on sale. We're probably going to go to the back and show stuff that hadn't been shown in months on sale. But first, I've got a crate up here to get us started. Let me pull a few of these out that I were going to auction last night. And I've got a crate here of some stuff. We're going to do 50% off. And then we're probably going to take a field trip to the back of the store, especially for those that's never been back there. And we're just going to go through bin after bin after bin of buy it now, best offer. And we're going to look through some bins in the back of stuff we probably hadn't seen in quite some time. So 2 auctions going right now. And then when we head to the back, we're going to do more. But right now, we're going to do some 50% off stuff. Clear out this bin. Then we're probably going to reconnect our internet and then head to the back. Odds of Japanese are high, David. I'd say very high, because when I get to the back, that's probably what we're going to do, is we're going to auction Japanese while we're going through the bin. So for the rest of the night, you're in store for some pretty cool stuff, because everything's going to be on sale. Probably some stuff you hadn't seen in a while, especially when we move this cart to the back, and we're going to have pretty much dollar start auctions and Japanese stuff for the rest of the night as well. And if I have time, I'll go grab that other crate of bootlegs. I don't have them cleaned and really researched, but I have stuff that I know I was going to auction tonight. I got to go to the back and get them. Probably after these auctions are done, I'll go get that crate. Elvis Costello, $37.50. This was recently put out. I'm going to hand somebody a deal. This is Elvis Costello sealed. This is, what is this? I know it's not vinyl. This is CDs, right? This box contains My Aim Is True, this year's model, Armed Forces, and no extra cost, and sold separately. Live at El Macombo, deluxe colored book, digital remastered. It's a sealed, I believe that's CD box set. Great price, and like a couple of these things have been put out pretty recently. Tanner, these are half off sticker on the back. Just to get things started here, we have Grand Funk, $10. Grand Funk Phoenix. The price, I'm telling you, is the half off sticker on the back. Some of them are pretty recent. Some of them are maybe 5 or 6 months old. Whitney Houston, $25. Whitney Houston. Near Mint, if I don't say anything about condition notes, it is EX Plus Near Mint Minus Records. Some great deals in here, like the Youngbloods. The Youngbloods on the original green Warner Brothers label. That is very nice condition. $10. So Brent got Elvis Costello. Update on our auctions. Jack Suslak's at $33 on Elton John. Steely Dan's at $10. And we have David Sanborn, A Change of Heart. That is sealed, $7.50. So Grand Funk, Whitney Houston, Youngbloods. Poco, picking up the pieces, $5 for Poco. Crusaders, The Good and the Bad Times. The Crusaders is sealed, unopened, $10 on the Crusaders, The Good and the Bad Times. Wet Willie, Left Coast Live. That is sealed and unopened. Wet Willie, $12.50. Elvin Jones, The Impulse Years, now $15. 1974, Elvin Jones, The Impulse Years, 2LP, $15 on that. $15 on that. I am not getting comments on my phone, but they're coming through over here on my monitor. Let me disconnect off my Wi-Fi. Are you seeing that too, Tanner? Okay. So, yeah. Was there anything before Steely Dan, Al, and Brett Hamilton? Brett Hamilton has any chance we see signed vinyl of the Pittsburgh collection? First, Sherry Darnell and YB, that was Youngbloods. Yeah, that's sold to Sherry Darnell. Whitney was $25, Jack. Jetstream goes to Crusaders. Jetstream wants the Crusaders. So, let me figure out, sorry about that. So, Elvis Costello. I'm not on Wi-Fi. Our Wi-Fi has been down. My mom really couldn't check out anybody today. If we don't have internet, the whole world shuts down. So does Coletco. Jetstream got Crusaders. That's not on... oh, I'm not looking at the right thing, Tanner. I was looking at my phone again. So Sherry Darnell got Youngbloods. Jetstream got Crusaders. Jack, that was $25. Wasp was $46.99. Brent Robley wants WW, which was Wet Willie. David Hoy wants Elvin Jones. Elvin Jones sold to David Hoy. Elton John, $35, $34. Chris B. Jack second on that. And Grand Funk is not check condition. Jack is out on Whitney, out on Elton, but he'll take Whitney. So that leaves Grand Funk, Poco, and David Sanborn. My phone is working back now. I disconnected off Wi-Fi. So somehow you're on Wi-Fi, though, but getting comments. One of those weird things. Tanner's on a different Wi-Fi. That's probably why. Different Wi-Fi is probably why. Wasp is sold to John Smetzer. Okay, so if you need me to go back over those again, I will, but they're on your monitor. So last thing was John Smetzer Wasp. Update on these auctions. Now, Elton John is now at 36 with Debbie Winstead. If you bid on Steely Dan and I don't see it, let me know, because I got Jamie Butler at $10, and that's a final call. 1980 pressing of Countdown to Ecstasy. Great music. It's Steely Dan, $10. So if you've bid, you might want to bid it again because I can't see it. Also, somebody asked about Grand Funk. It's $10, fantastic condition, and I think Henry's Choice wants that. That's Grand Funk. That's sold to Henry's Choice. He said, okay. So that leaves David Sanborn and Poco. Elton John's now at 40. This bin is the price I'm telling you. We have Albert Collins Frostbite, $10. Albert Collins Frostbite. Alligator Records, $10 on that. Cecil Taylor Indent. Cecil Taylor, $10. That's on Arista Freedom label. Cecil Taylor, $10. Elton John's now at 40. Brent Robley gets Albert Collins. And I'm about to sell Steely Dan for 10. Annie in Wonderland, Annie Haslam, $10 for Annie Haslam. What a unique cover. Annie in Wonderland, Annie Haslam on that. Steely Dan's at 11. John Miller, you were third to Albert Collins. Tommy Flowers, you were second. Peaches and Herb, $5. Peaches and Herb, $5. The classic Peaches and Herb. Roy Buchanan, Loading Zone, $10 on Roy Buchanan Gloating Zone and Delbert McClinton Playing from the Heart. Delbert McClinton, $5 on that. No condition notes in shrink wrap. Steely Dan 11, Steely Dan 12, Steely Dan 15. Chris Jack wants Poco. That's sold to Chris Jack, Poco. And Brent Robley wants RB, which is Roy Buchanan. Brent Robley also gets Delbert McClinton. John Miller, you were second on Roy Buchanan. So we got new bids on Steely Dan, and we have new bids on Elton John. Jamie Butler said sell it. Jamie, I had a feeling $10 was way too cheap for near mint Steely Dan. Sorry, you have been outbid. There's 3 new bidders now. Debbie Winstead's at 16 on Countdown to Ecstasy. Tiny Alice, $7.50. Shows you how to strike it rich in the music business. See inside for details. What exactly is this? This is, I don't know. Tiny Alice, is that the artist maybe? $7.50. Hey, it's another, we had an album like that last night. It was Gary Lewis. I guess that's the artist, Tiny Alice. Definitely maybe some blues rock. There's a marine band harmonica on the front. So Jamie Butler's out on Steely Dan. Debbie Winstead's at $16. Elton John is at $40 with Brett Hamilton. Debbie Winstead, you're out on Elton John. Good and Dusty, the Youngbloods. This is a white label promo in shrink wrap, $12.50. The Youngbloods, Good and Dusty, $12.50 on that. Brent Robley wants Tiny Alice. Rob Scheffler, you were second. We have Gary Burton. This is $5, and this is got multiple artists on it. It's credited to Gary Burton. It's called Times Square. $5 on that. Wolves Council first on the Youngbloods. Debbie's back in on Elton John at $41. So Debbie has the high bid on both auctions. Elton John at $41 and Steely Dan for $16. Going once, going twice. This is Casanova's Revenge by Bonji Dance. $5. Casanova's Revenge, Bonji's Dance. That is $5. The Everly Brothers Reunion Concert, September 23rd, 1983. $10 on the Everly Brothers. And Chick Corea, Circulus, Blue Note, $18.50. Chick Corea, Circulus, Blue Note Liberty reissue, $18.50. Elton's at $41. Steely Dan's at $16. Final call on both of those. Brett Hamilton's backing on Elton at $45. Stevie Wonder, Inner Visions, now just $15. Stevie Wonder, Inner Visions, a really nice copy. Gatefold, Tamla, Motown label, $15. Brett's back in on both auctions. He's at $45 on Elton John, $20 on Steely Dan. Brent Robley wants Chick Corea. John Wilson gets Stevie Wonder. Those are both sold. We also have Bill Evans, another jazz record, $15. The Second Trio. Bill Evans, The Second Trio, $15. And A Taste of Bluesway. That's a Bluesway blues compilation. Now just $10. T-Bone, John Lee, B.B., Earl Hooker, Charles Brown, Ray Charles, A Taste of Bluesway, $10. Bill Evans is sold to Brent Robley. Chad Smith was second. Michael Nath gets the Taste of Bluesway. Gary Burton label ECM. Dan McKenzie, Gary Burton is on the ECM label. Times Square, it is near mint minus. That's $5, Dan McKenzie. Taste of Bluesway, Michael Nath got it. Tommy second, John third, Fred Carnell fourth. Debbie Winstead, if you're still bidding, let me know, because you're outbid on both auctions, both by Brett Hamilton. He's at $45 on Elton, going twice, going 3 times. Steely Dan's at $20, going twice, going 3 times. Pacific Gas and Electric, are you ready? $10 for PGE, Pacific Gas and Electric. The Blues Project, live at the Cafe A Go-Go, $10 for the Blues Project, live at the Cafe. Very clean vinyl for a vintage Ver Folkways label, original label on that. $10. Dan McKenzie said take, and that was for the Gary Burton. That's sold to Dan McKenzie for $5. John Mayall, New Year, Brand New Company. Now, that's one I don't see as often. It does have a saw mark, $12.50. It's on the ABC Blue Thumb label. ABC Blue Thumb, $12.50. G. Michael is out on, actually, hold on a second. Dan said take. Wolves Council first on BP Blues Project. That's sold to Wolves Council. Michael Nath was second. Brent Robley wants Pacific Gas and Electric. Debbie's at $21 on Steely Dan. And we have John Mayall. That's a final call. Or excuse me, that's not a final call. Elton John's a final call. That's a final call before somebody grabs it. But Debbie bid $21 on Steely Dan. And then Debbie, just let me know if you want to bid again on Elton John. That's at $45. John Mayall's $12.50. Tom Jones, Delia, Tom Jones is an original German pressing, $6.50. Tom Jones Delia. Very cool cover there. He's snapping his fingers and singing. Almost said sneezing. He's probably sneezing too. But he's snapping his fingers. Tom Jones. He's probably somewhere out there in Las Vegas entertaining the gamblers. That is $6.50. Delia. That's a German pressing. Very interesting. Also, we have Delbert McClinton. That's in shrink wrap with the hop sticker. $6.50. Handing out great deals in here. Debbie's out on Elton John, so we're about to sell that. Before all that, she bid $21 on Steely Dan. Brad Hamilton, you're out on Steely Dan. Matt Ketchrin first to Tom Jones. Brent Robley second. Thomas Bowman third. Debbie's out on Elton John. Brett's backing on Steely Dan. And Brent Robley first to Delbert McClinton. Those are sold. We have Grover Washington Jr., All the King's Horses, $7.50. Grover Washington Jr., All the King's Horses, $7.50 for Grover. That's on the Kudo label, I think is what that's called. Sealed Elton John. It's been an Elton John night. A sealed copy of 21 at 33. It does have a saw mark now, just $12.50. Brand new vintage copy, $12.50. Elton John is $12.50, and we have Roy Block. I've got a rock in my sock. Roy Block, $7.50. So this Elton John is sold to Brett Hamilton for $45, and now they're still bidding on Steely Dan. We have Brett at $25, and Christopher Morris is going to get this sealed Elton here. All righty, let me go ahead and grab, here we go. Here's some stuff over here. I've got Whitesnake live in the heart of the city. $25 start for Whitesnake live in the heart of the city. An exceptionally clean copy. Does have a barcode on the back, and I'm pretty sure if this was out in 1980, I don't know if all of them had barcodes, but just so you know, this one does. That's the original black baggy. The vinyl is near mint. Whitesnake is a $25 start live in the heart of the city. Very, very nice copy for Whitesnake there. So, Debbie, let me know if you want back in on Steely Dan. Brett has that for $25. Back to the half-off stuff. The best of New Riders of the Purple Sage, $10. The best of New Riders of the Purple Sage. Argent Anthology, that's now $8. Argent Anthology. Grover Washington Jr., the best is yet to come. $7.50 on Grover Washington Jr. Bob Seger, Against the Wind, now just $10. The vinyl's in EX condition. EX condition has the original inner sleeve. Bob Seger, Against the Wind. Also, Ben Webster and Sweets Edison, Coleman Hawkins and Clark Terry, $10. This is Giants of the Tenor Saxophone, the genius of Ben Webster and Coleman Hawkins, $10 on that. So, Whitesnake, we were at 28 with Javi. We have Fred Carnell taking the Argent. That has Hold Your Head Up. That's sold to Fred Carnell. Shakedown is going to get the Bob Seger. Jeff Malwitz was second. Nick Bargeron third. Jetstream first to the Ben Webster. Looks like Jamie next on Bob Seger. Debbie next on Bob Seger. And Tommy Flowers next on the Giants. So, Debbie, I'm just waiting for your word on Steely Dan. You're outbid. Brett Hamilton has that for $25. If you want to bid again, let me know. If you say out, then I'm going to go ahead and sell it to him. Whitesnake's at 28 with Javi, and that's a final call. Art Webb, Mr. Flute. Art Webb, Mr. Flute, that's $10. And the Rascals, this one is $7.50. It's in shrink wrap. That's called C by the Rascals. That's an original Presswell pressing in shrink wrap. Debbie's at 26 on Steely Dan. Brett Hamilton, you've been outbid. Go with the Ventures, $5. Go with the Ventures, $5. Whitesnake live in the heart of the city. Final call to Javi, $28. Final call on that. We have Buku of Blues by Ringo Starr, $12.50 gatefold on the original Apple label. Very nice, just $12.50 now. Debbie's at 26 on Steely Dan. Brett's back in at 30. Paul's at 30 on Whitesnake. Long Distance Voyager, the Moody Blues, now EX condition, $6.50. And Noble Thin Man Watts, return of the Noble Thin Man Watts, VG condition, $5. Steely Dan, Katie lied. VG plus condition, VG minus cover, just $12.50 for Katie lied. $12.50 on that one. This is Whitesnake live in the heart of the city. High bid is now 29 and now 30 with Paul Brothers. Everybody else is out if you're not Paul Brothers. Next is Shane Devers on MB. MB was Moody Blues. That's so does Shane Devers. Debbie's out on Steely Dan. Jane Fink is going to claim the Steely Dan that's in here. Javi's back in on Whitesnake at 31. So this Steely Dan is sold to Brett Hamilton for $30. So that Steely Dan is sold to Jane. This one sold to Brett for $30. White Snake has now got a $31 bid. I think we had one of these last night that we sold in a Buy It Now Best Offer bin. Here's another one. Brian Setzer and his band known as the Stray Cats. This is going to be put up for bid for a $10 start. Stray Cats built for speed, near mint minus vinyl, very nice cover, almost really no signs of wear. Stray Cat built for speed. Rock this town. Stray Cat strut, $10. Brian Setzer and Stray Cats. That's now a $10 starting bid. White Snake's at $32, now $33. Spyro Gyra, City Kids, $5 for Spyro Gyra, City Kids. The Duke Ellington Orchestra, that is known as Digital Duke, $5. Duke Ellington Orchestra. Womack and Womack, Love Wars. Womack and Womack is $5. Men and the Doors, The Hobbits. That's VG Plus, now just $25. That's on Decca. The Hobbits, Men and Doors, just $25 now. The cover has some seam splits, so let's call it a VG minus. VG Plus vinyl, $25. White Snake was at $33. We have Paul Brothers at $35 on White Snake. John Wilson, $10 on the Stray Cats. Sherry Darnell wants the Rascal C. That's sold to Sherry Darnell. Jetstream got Duke Ellington. Brent Robley on the Hobbits. Mark Cunningham was second. And we have a third $10 bid on Stray Cats. So we need somebody to break that tie. And we have an out on White Snake. Back to the bin. Greg and Dwayne Allman, now $17.50. This is the 31st of February. Pre-Allman Brothers demos. Very good music, though. $17.50, Greg and Dwayne Allman. Waylon Jennings, Are You Ready for the Country? Now just $12.50. Tim Moore, White Shadows. Tim Moore is $5. And Elvin Bishop, Big Fun on Alligator Records. That's actually sealed and unopened, $11.50. I'm going to mute my mic for 1 second. Alrighty. Now I'm drinking Dasani. My Monster's gone. I have another energy drink on backup just in case, but I'll probably need it tonight while I'm pricing Rolling Stones records. So while I have everybody on, let me make an important announcement about tomorrow. So let me find a couple of the official posts. Tomorrow is going to be featuring Rolling Stones auctions and items. So there's the Rolling Stones. I've only posted a couple pictures. There's some auctions. We got albums, really unique albums, Russian copies, German pressings, Russian copies, original Satanic Majesty's Request. Of course, lots of really cool bootlegs. I got some very unique 45s, vintage picture sleeves. I've got a couple of oddities and rarities, Record Store Day. I've got magazines. We're going to be auctioning off a MoFi box. So tomorrow night's going to be featuring the Rolling Stones. But as usual, we'll probably have a Rolling Stones auction going and probably something else. Or we might be doing a poster and something else. Hadn't really decided how we're going to do that, but it's probably going to be like last night with Led Zeppelin. We're probably going to be selling something by Led Zeppelin and then something else, probably some kind of other auction or Japanese, whatever we have for that night. And then, of course, we're going to have plenty of new vintage stuff and new vinyl. But tomorrow night is Rolling Stones night. And then, an even more important announcement is a couple pre-orders that I want to let y'all know about. Some stuff that I posted today. The first one I just posted earlier. Let me go to that one first. Big announcement here. The Cult Electric. So the Cult, if you've noticed, they've been reissuing their entire catalog. Finally, they're doing a regular reissue of Electric as an anniversary edition on blue vinyl. If you don't have that pre-order already, they're $36.99. Looks like we already got 14 pre-orders on it. The Cult Electric blue vinyl. And as y'all know, that's always a very desirable auction. When we put it up for auction, there's always a lot of activity on it. And then as a restock alert, I've got 15 of these on way. 15 of these on the way. We got a restock of Pink Floyd Pulse. We've been selling a lot of Pink Floyd records. The very famous 4LP Pulse box set, $119.99. If you want to go claim one right now, I've got 15 on the way. Or if you want to let us know live, make sure you absolutely want this. Looks like we got a few people who's already claimed one. Joe Barlow, Holly Safe, and Patrick Hummer. So I've got 12 left. Those will be here tomorrow or Thursday or tomorrow or Friday. That is right there. And also, if you want to see a big full preview if you want to see a huge preview of the Rolling Stones, I've posted a video. It's somewhere in our page where I've shared the entire flip video of most of the Rolling Stones records. I've also posted a pre-order for LA Guns, Cocked and Reloaded, a reissue of that, first time in a long time. What else have we got on here? There's Ed's Kiss Pumpkin. Very good job, Ed. Got Best of Peter Tosh. I got a restock of the Dead Kennedys coming. Make sure you're in our group. Jason Aldean, those will be here tomorrow. There's the Jimmy Buffett. We've already shown that. The Godsmack should be coming up. Where are you, Godsmack? Ozzy Funko, Bark at the Moon. That's actually flocked. It's going to be like textured material on Ozzy. There's the big Godsmack. I just ordered 125 of those. I just got ordered 125 of those. So make sure you're in on that. Sorry for the distraction, but want to let everybody know about all that great stuff. Back to the auctions. The last call I did on Whitesnake was Paul Brothers at $35, and then Stray Cats was at $10, $12, $15, $12. Debbie Whited is at $13, $15 on Stray Cats. Brent Robley, first to Waylon Jennings. Christopher Morris was second. So Brent got Waylon Jennings. Sherry got Allman Brothers. Brent Robley got Elvin Bishop. Tommy Flowers was second. Stray Cats 16, Stray Cats 17, Stray Cats 20. And we have James Lugwood wants on that Colt pre-order and info on Whitesnake. So our auctions right now are Whitesnake live in the heart of the city. Whitesnake is at $35 with Paul Brothers. It is near mint. The vinyl's very nice, so is the cover. That's a final call for $35. And Stray Cats is at $20 with Chris Frazier. Are you going to do any Stones tonight as a teaser for tomorrow? The Stones will be all tomorrow night. Stones will be all tomorrow night. Stray Cats is at $20, and that's our two auctions. James Ludwig wants on Whitesnake. Daniel's at $36. These are all half off. Let me go through these one more time. Bubby Mercer wants on the Jason Aldean list. Godsmack is only orange through their website. And I saw earlier, I don't know if they've reopened it, but someone posted earlier they're sold out. So I'm hearing the orange is only through their website. So we will not be getting orange. We will be getting it on black vinyl. David Sanborn, A Change of Heart. David Sanborn is sealed, $7.50. Cecil Taylor in Dent, $10. Annie Haslam, Andy in Wonderland, $10. Peaches and Herb, $5. Stray Cats is at $21 with Debbie Whited. Daniel Boozide's at $36 on Whitesnake. We have Donji Dance. That is $5. Yeah, I figure the orange is going to be very limited. They're not doing indie. There's no indie exclusive for the new Godsmack. It's only orange. They're doing an autographed through their website, and it's sold out. So there's the pre-order for Electric. I hope everybody gets on that, because if you don't, you're going to regret it. That's a very desirable Cult album, and they're doing it on blue vinyl. The Everly Brothers, that is 1983 live concert, $10. John Mayall, $12.50. Grover Washington Jr., All the King's Horses, $7.50. Roy Block, I've Got a Rock in My Sock, that is $7.50. New Riders, that is $10. New Riders of the Purple Sage. Also, Grover Washington Jr., The Best Is Yet to Come, $7.50. Art Webb, Mr. Flute, $10. And make sure y'all can get in on the actual post. I know I said we'd take down your name, but that will probably put you near the bottom. Make sure you go in and comment on those posts so I can rank everybody in order. In case we're allocated on something, you may miss out, because those names we keep, and I actually put them at the very bottom. I key in everybody first on the pre-order, and then if I took anybody's name live, those go on the bottom. That's why, thank you, Mike and Craig, and Tanner does too sometimes if he has time. I actually share those links so you can comment on the actual post. Now, if you're on YouTube, also let me know, because obviously you don't have a Facebook. John Mayall and Sanborn sold to Kelly Bagwell. So there's the Sanborn and there's the John Mayall. Those are both sold. Nat Reynolds wants purple. That's New Riders of the Purple Sage. All right, Stray Cats, let's do some final call, because we're about to go to the back and go through some bins back there, and we got to have these auctions done. Davey White is at 21 on Stray Cats, and Daniel Boozide was at 36 on Whitesnake. I don't know if Paul Brothers is with us anymore. But Paul, if you are, let me know if you're right on that. If not, I'm going to go ahead and sell it to Daniel. Final records in here was The Ventures. Go with The Ventures, $5. Ringo's still available. A very nice copy. We used to not get this album too often. $12.50. Buku of Blues. Starting bid for MoFi Box. David, you're the third person who has asked, and I haven't actually made up my mind yet. If anybody's interested, let me know, and I'll let you know. I usually don't reveal that to the show Several people have asked, but I actually haven't decided yet. I haven't really even looked at it. I've took a picture. I'm going to go through them and check them all, look at them, make sure they're all nice and clean and mint, but I actually haven't touched it yet. Paul Brothers is at 38 on Whitesnake. Daniel Boozide, you're out. Return of the Noble Thin Man Watts. I've actually touched it. I haven't even opened it up yet, so I haven't looked at it. I actually look forward to listening to a lot of these Rolling Stones records tonight, so it will be put up for auction. I have no idea. I have no idea. I know it's not cheap. Of course, I think everybody that's interested knows that, but I will make it. I'll do all the research, and I'll make it a very fair starting bid. I'll make sure it's at market or well below for a starting bid. Spyro Gyra is $5. We also have Womack and Womack for $5 and Tina Moore, $5. Now, a lot of the stuff I'm going to work on tonight is, of course, records, and then I've got some posters and magazines, some pretty interesting stuff. All right, so we got Debbie Whited at 21 on the Stray Cats. That's sold. Stray Cats for $21. I'll actually put that right there. And Whitesnake is at $40 of Daniel Boozide. That's with $40, and that is sold. Paul Brothers out. I'm going to go ahead and sell those. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to disconnect our Ethernet cable, and I'm going to connect to our hotspot. Right now we have two Beatles box sets. We have Beatles in stereo. We have the Beatles in mono. We have a Beatles MoFi box, and we have a Rolling Stones box set. So we got some really cool high-end audiophile box sets that's going to have to be sold before the end of the year. So all of our autographs will be officially authenticated Sunday. We'll have them ready to go Sunday from JSA. So after this week, we're going to get back to selling autographs, and there are going to be one or two things. They're going to be authenticated by JSA if it was worth having authenticated, or we're going to start selling the other ones that's not authenticated, that we know that are real and we'll guarantee them, but they wasn't quite worth paying the price to have them authenticated, if that makes sense. So we're going to have hundreds and hundreds. Actually, we've done a count. We're going to have over 600 autographs back from JSA first of the week. So first of the week, we're going to have over 600 authenticated albums, autographed albums, and posters and pictures first of the week. So next week, starting next week, we're going to be seeing a lot of autographs be put up for auction. So hope you're all ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my, we have really bad internet tonight. So let me give everybody a fair warning while you can hear me. I'm going to connect to my Verizon hotspot. I'm going to connect to my Verizon hotspot on this laptop that we have rolling around on this cart. I'm going to go to the back. I'm going to go to the back and roll this cart back there, and hopefully it works. And let me try to connect right now to this hotspot, and I'm going to disconnect. So you may lose your feed, and you'll have to come back, okay? And I'm going to start rolling this cart to the back. So let me connect to iPhone 6 here, and let me type in my password. Make sure it's connected. There. Let me move all my drinks off the table before we don't want any spills. All right. We're about to go mobile. I think that's a song by The Who on Who's Next, isn't it? Going mobile. So let's see here. I'll drive by some stuff. There's Black Sabbath, Kiss, Billy Idol, Singles, Overkill, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Motley Crue. There's all of our Rush records, Pearl Jam, U2, Iron Maiden, Rush, U2, Overkill. Oh, there's hey, that poster right there, I've never shown that before. That's actually signed by Yoko Ono. I don't know if anybody wants it or not. That's why I've never shown it. I don't know if anybody wants Yoko's autograph. So I've had that for 2 years, too. It's been laying there for like 2 years. I've never shown it here. It's autographed by Yoko. All right, I don't know where to get started back here. We're going down the ramp right now. And, boop, that was the last drop off. So you see all these crates here? This is all crates of stuff we've recently shown that hasn't sold. I don't know where to get started back here. There's no telling. We might get started over here. I like the way this crate looks. There's a Who record right on the front. So let me start right here. Let me take a peek. And yeah, that doesn't look too bad at all. So everything back here, I am extremely motivated seller. which means I'm here to sell you albums, and I'm going to offer all these buy it now best offer, which means we're going to go through a lot of vinyl back here. I'm also going to keep some auctions going in the meantime in the back. And there's my phone so I can see. We can hear you. Good job. It's connected. I think we're good to go. Yoko's signature. Is there a greatest hits Rush? Not really. There's a Rush icon, but not really. So, all right. Any more boots? Yeah, let me, okay, if everybody hangs out right here, probably there's some people reconnecting too to get back on the feed. Let me go grab, I know I promised some Japanese stuff, but nearest to me are some of the bootlegs. David Johnson probably just went, are you kidding me? But maybe Tanner can bring those back here. Tanner, if you can hear me, the Japanese stuff behind the counter. Let me move my secret. I got a secret entrance to the back room now. Let me move this location, secret location. Let's see what we have in here. I've got some more bootlegs, but I want to do a fair warning. A lot of these I haven't checked or really looked at yet. So we can show them and auction them, but I just want to let everybody know that I really hadn't. Or those, yeah, I forgot about those. Okay, you already pulled the pre-order. All right, Tanner also reminded me of a new release. So, okay. So, these are going to be buy it now best offer. Let me go ahead and get started in the bin. Then I'll show you the new release Tanner just brought back here. And then we'll get started on some auctions. So these are buy it now best offer. Todd Rundgren, Back to the Bars, $29.99. Todd Rundgren, Back to the Bars. 2 LP, Todd Rundgren. That's the double live album. But that has the Hello, It's Me on it. And as I saw the lot on there. Or I think that's the version we all know as Hello, It's Me. Todd Rundgren. It's actually that live cut from Back to the Bar. So these are all buy it now best offer. Don't hesitate to make offers at all. Grover Washington Jr. Wine Light. This is with Bill Withers, too. Has the song Just the Two of Us on it. $9.99. That is Grover Washington Jr. Odetta at the Gate of Horn. $34.99. Odetta at the Gate of Horn. That's on the Tradition Everest label. $34.99. And the Steve Gibbons Band. The Steve Gibbons Band is $14.99. The Steve Gibbons Band, Any Road Up. That's on the MCA Black Rainbow label. $14.99 for Steve Gibbons Band. And Sammy Johns contains the hit single Chevy Van. $14.99 for Sammy Johns. 5 Miles Out, Mike Oldfield. $14.99. Mike Oldfield, 5 Miles Out. And the Early Beatles, Now on Capitol. That's on the Apple label. $29.99. It's now on Capitol. Now it's on Apple. The Early Beatles. That's a compilation. Love Me Do, Twist and Shout, Chains, P.S. I Love You, Baby It's You, Do You Want to Know a Secret, Please Please Me. That's $29.99. Michael Nath is going to get the Odetta for $25. That's sold to Michael Nath. And we have Dennis Yost in the Classic 4. What Am I Crying For? Dennis Yost is $14.99. John Prime, the best of John Prime, Prime, $49.99. $49.99. John Prine, the best of John Prine, $49.99. It's in an Atco inner sleeve, which really isn't original because this came out on Atlantic, but it is $49.99. The Hurdy-Gurdy Man by Donovan, $19.99 for Hurdy-Gurdy Man. Donovan, that's on the Orange Epic label, $19.99 for Donovan, Hurdy-Gurdy Man. Santana 3 is $16.99. Santana 3, $16.99. Colonization, New Colony 6, $19.99 for the New Colony 6. Colonization, $19.99. That's on the Centaur label by Cameo Parkway. Greg D offered $35 for John Prine, and you bought it. See how easy that is? That's sold to Greg D for $35. Tanner just brought this back here to me. It's actually a new release, so everybody knows these are in for this week. They are $49.99. It's going to be one of the more popular Christmas albums we stock this year. If you want one, let me know. I'm going to read off the pre-order very quickly. This is Christmas Collected, and there was a bunch of people on it. These are in, and they will be on this week's invoice. Christmas Collected. It's a 2 LP, limited edition, green and red vinyl, Christmas Collected. Wow, 69 comments. I guess I replied to everybody. Yeah, I got everybody lined up because I was afraid it might be allocated, but we got them all in. Christmas Collected, $49.99. And here's everybody who got one. It's 2 LPs. Queen, Elton John, Bruce Springsteen, Band-Aid, Paul McCartney, U2, Pearl Jam, Teskey Brothers, Chuck Berry, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Amy Winehouse is on here. Jose Feliciano, Jonah Louie, Arane Grande. I think they miss Ariana. Ariana? Did I misspell her name? It looks different than it normally is, though. Wizard, Mud, and Stevie Wonder. Or maybe I'm just not used to seeing it spelt that way, or I don't know. Jerry Wallace. Here's everybody who pre-ordered it. This is Jerry Wallace, Dan Triaga, Jerry Pennick, Bill Walton, Tyler Browning, Cameron Martin, Walt Cruz, Stacy Brown, Richard Davis, Tracy McFadden, Hannah Reeder, Eric Fisher, Brandon Jackson, Matt Algram, Leslie Holt, Cynthia Herdron, Stacy Metternich, Andy Wade, Tawana Bennett, Tracy Miller, Julianne Roman, Alan Case, Marco Martinez, Mike Massey, Kim Rich, Jerry Stone, Lily McCurry, Paul Brothers, Brent Robley, Ken Crooker, Joe Willinger, Darren Wortman, Amy Hutchings, Christopher Morris, and Debbie Blair. And I said, as of 4:52 a.m. on October 27th, I got 7 extras. And I think since then, we had 8 because Darren claimed 12, or 2, but he only meant 1. So I had 8, 7, 6, 5. We should have about 5 left, Tanner. And that is Christmas collected. 1 to Chris B. Jack. You got him over there. Chris B. Jack wants 1, and Greg D. wants 1. All right, so there's 2 more. So that should leave me with like 3 or 4 of those, including this one I'm holding in my hand. All right, our first auction since we're back here. And Tanner, I think we got an email from a new buyer that came through our CollectCo email that said he wanted this. I'm going to go ahead and set it out. That was Bruce Springsteen, The River. Unless it's somebody under a different name that I don't know. But it looked like a new name to me. All right, last night we sold several different copies of these. Let's go ahead and put up another one up for bid. And this is the Beatles 62. This is 67 to 70. This is pristine too. This is so nice. The vinyl's nice. There's LP number 1. There's LP number 2. 67 to 70 Beatles compilation. It has both inner sleeves. And this is a $55 start. It is very, very nice. This is the UK Flag Series. UK Flag Series number 15. $55 start, 67 to 70. We had a lot of interest in those the other night. Jedit wants a Christmas collected. You got that, Tanner? Jedit's got a Christmas collected. I think that leaves us with 2 copies. Okay, so there's our first Japanese auction, $55 start on that. Everything in this bin is buy it now best offer. We've had 2 fair offers, and I've taken both of them. PJ Proby, Nikki Hokie. PJ Proby is $9.99. Dionne Warwick, Soulful, $9.99 for Dionne Warwick. These are all buy it now, best offer. John Ellis is at $60 on the Beatles. Andy McKay is $9.99. In Search of Eddie Riff. Michael Nesmith from the Monkees. Infinite Rider on the Big Dogma, $19.99 for Michael Nesmith. Big Hits, High Tide and Green Grass, the Rolling Stones. That's a 74 UK pressing, $34.99. Big Hits, High Tide and Green Grass, $34.99. The Rolling Stones, $34.99. Big Hits, High Tide and Green Grass. That's a 74 UK pressing. I'm going to leave that over here and the Beatles. I'm trying to get all of our Beatles, Stones, and some of these other artists all together. And there's the early Beatles. I need a Beatles on blue vinyl. Actually, I think we have a red on red vinyl. Tom Moran emailed about the Japanese River. There he is. He just commented, Tom Moran. Tom, I saw that email come in late, and Tanner handles usually the CollectCo emails. I didn't reply, but I hadn't sold it. So if you want it, I think you offered $38, Tom. If so, then it's sold to you. Greg D says he'll give $30 for the Stones. I had it set aside in case it didn't sell. I was going to show it tomorrow night on Rolling Stones night, but Greg, you're going to get it right now for $30. Final call on the Beatles. That's at $60 with John Ellis, and that's a final call to John Ellis for $60. We're about to sell it. Now, last night we sold a couple Eric Claptons. I've got another one here that we did not get to. This is Eric Clapton Backless. This is a Japanese pressing, near mint minus and pristine. This is going to be a $35 start, Eric Clapton Backless. Now, Tom, if you're a first-time buyer, let me give you a couple instructions. Let me get done showing Eric Clapton first. Behind the Sun is a Japanese pressing. Does have just a little bit of foxing there on the obi, the front and back cover, the vinyl, everything else. Very, very nice. $35 start on Eric Clapton. So, if you're a first-time buyer, anybody watching, which Tanner, actually Tom is watching, the guy who emailed about that, and he said he'll take it for $38. And please make sure you send our Facebook page a message. I know you've already emailed us, but if you're on Facebook, it would help us out to go ahead and send us a message with your email address and your mailing address. And that is, we need that so we can invoice you every Monday. We invoice every Monday. So anybody watching, I had somebody who bought last week for the first time, and after Tuesday night's sale, they messaged us and said, hey, I didn't get an email from last night, and that's because we only email once a week on Mondays. That's why you may have not seen an email. Heather Feather, I'm going to sell you Andy McKay for $5. Sell that to Heather for $5. The best of Tommy James and the Shondells. Very nice here. Gatefold, $19.99. An amazing collection of music. The best of Tommy James and the Shondells. Crimson and Clover, Hanky Panky, I Think We're Alone Now, Crystal Blue Persuasion, Sugar on Sunday. This is $19.99. That is Buy It Now Best Offer. Sunny Chris, Warm and Sunny. Sunny Chris, Warm and Sunny. That is $9.99. America's Greatest Country Stars, live and in person on the Philip Morris Kentucky Derby Festival Show. Johnny Cash is on there, $9.99. The Beau Brummels, Volume 2, that's in VG condition, $14.99. And we have Introducing the Beau Brummels, that's in VG condition, $9.99. So let's go ahead and sell this Beatles to John Ellis for $60. And final call to get a bid in on Eric Clapton. We're looking for a $35 start on Eric Clapton, Behind the Sun. Next was Homeland Conspiracy, offered $15 for Tommy James. So did Chris Ferrara. So let's sell that to the first person, who was Homeland Conspiracy. He gets that for $15. Chris Ferrara, you were second. Christmas Collected is $49.99. It looks like I've got 2 copies left. $49.99 for Christmas Collected. Of course, I'm definitely going to try to restock those again unless we sell out. Next comment is David Hoy. He wants the Sonny Chris album. That's so did David Hoy. And Jane Fink offered $7 for the Beau Brummels. Sell her the Beau Brummels. I'm assuming that was for Volume 2, Jane, right? Because there's a Volume 1 here. Actually, I don't know which one she wants. There's 2 Beau Brummels, Jane. Let me know which one you want, Volume 1 or Volume 2. I'll sell you either one for $7 or both of them for $7 each. Eddie Money, VG Plus condition, $17.99. Eddie Money, 2 tickets to Paradise, original inner sleeve 2, VG Plus $17.99 for Eddie Money. And Tony Bennett, Who Can I Turn To? Tony Bennett is $9.99. Everything in these bins are Buy It Now Best Offer. Don't hesitate to make an offer. Curtis Blow, The Breaks, and The Breaks Instrumental from 1980, $24.99. Rachel, maybe. I almost said Rachel, but I think that's Rachel. Rachel 2, $19.99. And we have Les McCann Ltd. Plays the Truth. Les McCann, $19.99. So she's actually going to take those for $7 and $7. $7 and $7. And then GC is going to get Eddie Money for $13. Those are sold and sold. Eric Clapton's going to be a Buy It Now if anybody wants it. This is a Buy It Now if anybody wants it. This is a $35 Buy It Now. Eric Clapton, Behind the Sun, contains the hit song Forever Man. No bid on that. Buy it now for $35 if anybody wants it. Let me get a couple new auctions introduced. I actually brought some bootlegs back here too that really have never been shown before. Jetstream is going to get Tony Bennett for $7. That's sold to Jetstream for $7. And yes, I did post a picture of that. It's in the group. That's in the group up right now, actually. Yeah, the catalog for the bootleg. Corny phone label. All right, so we just sold a 67 to 70. Here's a 62 to 66. Let's take a look at it. The Beatles 62 to 66. This one is very nice. No condition notes. There's LP number 1. Here's LP number 2. This has both original inner sleeves. And once again, just like the other one, very, very nice. If you need the pair for that one, if you just bought the other one, or if you have the blue and you need the red, $55 start. Beatles 62 to 66. Very nice copy. That's up for bid. $55 start on that. Thomas Bowman said he'll take a Christmas Collected. Tanner's already got you tagged, Thomas, and we have one left. I think we have one left. Back to the bin. Everything in here is Buy It Now Best Offer. Cartoons in stereo. Bob Prescott presents Cartoons in Stereos. That's $14.99. Does have a seam split. Debbie Winstead's at $55 on the Beatles. This is this bin where the albums don't want to stand up just right, so I'll be fighting with them. Elvis Burning Glove, $9.99 for Elvis Burning Glove. We also have Windmills of Your Mind. Bud Shank plays the music and arrangements of Michael Legrand. That is $9.99. The Beatles is at $55. And we have Kitaro, Astral Voyage, $19.99 for Kitaro, $19.99. Spencer Davis and Peter Jameson, It's Been So Long, $14.99. And John Entwistle, $9.99. Too Late the Hero, John Entwistle, Too Late the Hero. All right, so let me see what else I have over here. I was looking at this last night. I hadn't got to clean it, but this is from the Pittsburgh collection. It's very unique. It's It's an older record for sure. It's an old Marcy label. Big Bill Brunsey, Folk Blues. Big Bill Brunsey. Now, I was taking a look at it. I hadn't got to test play it. There's not really all that many marks on the vinyl. I think it's actually going to play really well. It just kind of has this hazy look to it. It kind of has this hazy look to it. Folk Blues featuring Big Bill Brunsey. It's I got 8 tracks on it, and this is going to be a. When you look these up, of course, you know, usually these are destroyed condition, usually really low grade. That's why sometimes you see some lower prices. At first look, when you look deeper, finding these in better condition is kind of hard to find. Big Bill Brunsey's a $25 start. The jacket's not bad, actually. It's a VG Plus for what it is, and I think this is like early or mid-50s. Probably more like a mid-50s release. So Big Bill, $25 start. I think some of those are sold over 100 in really high grade, but I think that's going to play really nice. I really hardly don't see any marks on the vinyl. It's just got that hazy, gassy look to it, which you see on a lot of old vinyl from that era. Back to the Beatles. Debbie Winstead has it for $55. Final call. Now, Brian, you offered $5 for Elvis, and then we have a $7 offer. So, Brian G. Owens, if you want Elvis for $7, it's yours. If you pass, then it's Debbie's for $7. So, that's up to Brian, and we're going to go ahead and sell Matt Ketchern the cartoons for $7. That's sold to Matt Ketchern for $7. And Big Bill Brunsey has several bids already. Michael Knapp's at $40. All Day Thumbsucker. This is actually a CBS Blue Thumb label compilation, 1999, or I should say ABC. ABC, that was, well, Blue Thumb was a label, but I think it was maybe a subsidiary of ABC. But this has artists such as Ike and Tina, Love, and T-Rex on it. It's called All Day Thumbsucker. It's a compilation, 1999. Just as a reminder, everything in here is Buy It Now Best Offer. The Marshall Tucker Band, this is Carolina Dreams, VG Plus condition, and that is $17.99. That has the hit song Heard It in a Love Song on it. Big Bill's at $40. Brian Owen said he will do the $7 on Elvis, so he offered $5. Debbie offered $7. He said he would do $7 on it, so that's sold to him for $7. Let's go ahead and sell the Beatles. This is sold to Debbie Winstead for $55. Debbie gets the Beatles 62 to 66 for $55, Tanner. Debbie, you got the Beatles. Big Bill was at $40. Info on Spencer Davis and Peter Jameson. It's been so long. No condition notes. $14.99. It has a flip open cover. It's on Media Arts label, and that is $14.99. No condition notes. That is Spencer Davis and Peter Jameson. It's been so long. $14.99. Next comment was Tom Moran said Tony Bennett, $5. The Tony Bennett has already been sold, Tom. And Brent Robley says he'll take the All Day Thumbsucker for $15. That's sold to Brent. Tom, the Tony Bennett from earlier, that has already sold. Somebody already offered $7. I sold it. Big Bill's at $45. Bob Dylan, Blood on the Tracks. VG Plus condition, $24.99. Bob Dylan, Blood on the Tracks. Bob Dylan, Blood on the Tracks, VG Plus condition, $24.99. Sirius, Coleman Hawkins. This is $19.99. Sirius, Coleman Hawkins has a promo stamp on it. That's on the Pablo Jazz label, $19.99. Greg D offered $20 for Dylan. Sold. Big Bill is at $50. And Debbie said MT $5. Now, if you're talking about Marshall Tucker, Debbie, this would be $15 on Marshall Tucker if that's what you were talking about there. And Image, Lee Konitz with Strings, $29.99. That's on Verve Records, Lee Konitz with Strings. Black Verve label, $29.99. Henry's out on Big Bill. Michael Nath has that for $50. Poll Winners 3, Barney Kessel, Shelly Mann, and Ray Brown. That is $34.99. That's on the Contemporary CR label. That's a jazz label, $34.99. All right, so final call on Big Bill Brunsey. That's with Michael Nath at $50. Final call on that. I've got another Beatles, 67 to 70. Let's take a look at it. Actually, let me go ahead and do a final call on that. I don't have a lot of room back here. What was the Entwistle? The John Entwistle was, it's a promotional 12-inch single. Too Late the Hero and Dancing Master. It's a promo 12-inch single. John Entwistle, promo marked label, bass player for The Who. That's $9.99. The Fix, Walkabout. The Fix is in VG Plus or VG condition, $9.99. G.E. Smith, In the World. G.E. Smith is $19.99. And Kenny G, Silhouette. EX condition, $9.99. Manchild, Feel the Fuff, $12.99 for Manchild. And Rod Stewart self-titled, no condition notes on that, $14.99. Brian Arrigo said he'll take Entwistle for $7. Sold, and Chris Jack offered $7 for the Fix. Sell that to Chris for $7. All right, and Michael Nath gets Big Bill for $50. I'll lay that on top of the Fix. So the next auction I was going to show was the Beetle 67 to 70. Now this is the Apple pressing. This is the Apple pressing, 2 LPs, no condition notes. They are very nice, near mint minus, Japanese quality. This has the Beatles discography book, and this has the Beatles lyric book. It also has both original inner sleeves, and this one is a $65 start. It has the 2 books with it, gatefold, no foxing or discoloration on it, near mint vinyl, 67 to 70, $65 start. That's a Japanese pressing on the Apple Obi. Kelly Bagwell says she'll take the Rod Stewart. That's sold to Kelly. We have Fifth Dimension Portrait, $14.99 for Fifth Dimension Portrait. The Love and Spoonful, Everything Playing, $12.99 for the Love and Spoonful. Born Again, Randy Newman, $19.99. Born Again, Randy Newman. The Beach Boys Love You, $19.99. War, Love Is All Around. That is in shrink wrap. Looks like a nice copy. Does have a clip corner down here. Very nice though. Original inner sleeve too. War is $19.99. Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Brand New Day. That's $19.99. $19.99 for Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Those are supposed to have clip corners, by the way. It's a die-cut cover. Black Oak, Arkansas, Ain't Life Grand, $17.99. And The Who, Magic Bus and My Generation. 2 tough albums to find. This is a 2-in-1 repackaging for $39.99. Very clean, too. Magic Bus and My Generation. Heather Feather said she'd give $15 for War. That is sold to Heather Feather. Final call to get a bid in on the Beatles at $65. And let me see what I have over here in my boot box. My boot box. I got a Pretenders. Now, I've got some of these that, like I said, I really hadn't had a chance to clean them or research them, but I'll put them out for sale. And I will clean them afterwards. That's what I did last Saturday when I was missing a couple people here to help me get stuff ready. I went ahead and put some stuff out for sale. And here is one of them. This is the Pretenders. This is straight from the Pittsburgh collection. It's a 2 LP bootleg. It's called Pretending and Hoping. And it says it's California, Santa Monica, 1982. A 2 LP. And this is one of those file under the Pretenders type deals. Yeah, hold on a second. Here's the technically front part of it. This is going to be a $35 start. Oh, let me leave that out for a second. File under the Pretenders. That's how it's supposed to look. Pretending and Hoping. $35 start. Let me get this sleeve out of here. Must be a die cut. Must have a... Well, let's see here. Yeah, I knew it. I was about to say, it's not... This is why it wasn't going in there, because it was getting rammed up against that. Do not like these inner sleeves. I'll put these in new anti-statics after I clean them. So, very clean vinyl though. $35 start. Let me take a look at them here. This is, let's see, which LP is first? Let me take a look. I hadn't actually got to examine them here. This one looks very nice, this LP. Yeah, there's really no marks on that one. And this one here looks like it's probably closer to EX or VG+. I can't tell if this is bad part about trying to grade records without cleaning them first. Can't tell if it's dust or a mark. This is closer to VG+. These are actually, I'm seeing stuff on it, but you see what it is? It's actually where the vinyl wasn't cut too well. I think those are just little pieces of vinyl on there. So, yeah. Overall, that's a pretty clean bootleg from what I'm seeing. Definitely that first disc is nicer than this one. That one looks almost unplayed. That one's probably EX or VG+. File under the Pretenders. There's some kind of clip out here. It almost feels like photo material. And this insert here that I just dropped, which has the information. It's a 2 LP, and it looks like Santa Monica 82, and maybe the following songs are from the new festival, the US festival, the new group. So there you have it. That's straight from a crate over here of bootlegs from the Pittsburgh collection. That's up for bid. We sold War. We have a $27 and a $28 offer for The Who. My best price on the Who would be $30. And Brian Arrigo, you would be first. Brent Robley, you're second. So Brian, let me know if you want that for $30. If not, then it's possibly sold to Brent. That could be sold to one of them for $30. Don's at $35 on the Pretenders. Holly, the Beatles is a $65 start, and the Pretenders $35, $40, $41. What's the Pittsburgh collection? Since I've been buying and selling records, I name the collections we buy. When we go somewhere and buy an incredible collection, I usually call it the name of the city we bought it from. We also have a Pennsylvania collection from almost a year and a half ago. That was epic, but this one's known as the Pittsburgh collection. We bought about 9,000 albums from a lifelong collector in Pittsburgh. It's called the Pittsburgh collection. If you scroll far enough on our page, you'll see videos, you'll see posts. We got a whole video where we walked around his room, where all these were stored. We got pictures. It's a collection we bought. We buy massive collections, and I call them usually the town we bought them from. There's the Birmingham collection. There's the Pittsburgh collection. There's the Knoxville Metal collection. The Atlanta collection. That's what we call. So that's what we do. We travel the country. We buy massive. I turn down a lot of 500, 300 piece collections we have to travel for. We usually hold out for where we can go somewhere and buy like 10,000 albums at one time. Somebody's lifetime collection that no one else has looked at, no one else has touched, and we pay a premium for them. We bring them back here and we sell them every night. That's what we do. So Dale's collection was like 9,000 albums, and we went up there and bought them. They were bootlegs, autographs, imports, and just rare albums. And he did not know. They just left. He's got about 900 Dylan albums. A lot of them. He has autographs, promos. That's the only thing he didn't sell. He has about 900. Now, we have almost 600 Beatle albums that we hadn't touched yet from this collection. So we have a European collection. Well, if I have somebody in Europe that wants to sell a collection, I'll go over there and buy it. But it's very difficult to go to Europe and buy records. The transportation. Imagine being in London. You get off a plane. You go buy 7,000 albums and you got to get them back. It's not impossible, but it's just very costly. I've thought about it. I've thought about running ads in Europe, but very difficult to get them back over here. So, okay. He's not selling his Dylan records. He said they'll be for sale after he dies. So, I hope that's a long time from now for his sake. But he'll probably hold on to those forever. So, okay, Brian Arrigo, Tanner, he got the Who for $30. That sold to Brian for $30. Brent was second. The Pretenders was $35, $40, $41, $45. Holly's at $65 on the Beatles, final call. The Pretenders, $46, $50, $52, $55 on the Pretenders, $58 on the Pretenders, $66 on the Beatles. And, Debbie's at $66 on the Beatles, and the Pretenders is at $58. So, he's got a lifetime Dylan collection. I don't know if y'all know this, but early Dylan albums autographed is very, very desirable. So, thought Chad said England. I did. Yeah, if I could go over there, it's hard to go over there and buy albums. I mean, I've thought about it. Same way with Japan. It's just, imagine getting off a plane and you got your clothes, your luggage, and you've got to figure out a way to get a semi full of records back to the United States. So, yeah, English John, yeah. Y'all might even remember the English John collection. We bought 30,000 albums from one guy one time. We moved him for what, Tanner, 2 weeks? 3 weeks, and then we went up there and moved for 2 more weeks after we ran out of room. So we've bought 30,000 albums at one time. That was like 7 or 8 trailers full of records. English John. So that was a heck of a collection. Okay, so here's an update on our auctions. I'll get back to selling. No more talking. Debbie Winstead is at 66 on the Beatles. This is 66 on the Beatles. Debbie Winstead. Holly Safe, you're out. 67 to 70. The Pretenders is at 58 with Holly Safe. So Holly has the Pretenders at 58. Everybody else is out. That's going once, going twice. So that's where we're at, 66 and 58. These albums are buy it now, best offer. I've already been through them. I'm going to read the titles if you want to make an offer, or if you already know the price, or if you don't know the price, let me know. If not, I'm going to move on to the next bin. Todd Rundgren, Back to the Bars. These are all buy it now. These are first come, first serve. These two back here are auctions. These are auctions. Todd Rundgren, Grover Washington Jr., Steve Gibbons, Sammy Johns, Mike Ofield, Dennis Yost, Donovan Hurdy-Gurdy Man, Santana 3, New Colony 6, PJ Proby, Nikki Hokie, Dionne Warwick, Michael Nesmith, America's Greatest Country Stars Live, Curtis Blow, Les McCann, Rachel 2, Bud Shank, Kataro, Spencer Davis, Peter Jameson, Coleman Hawkins, Marshall Tucker Band, Lee Konitz, Barney Kessel, Shelly Mann, Ray Brown, G.E. Smith, Kenny G, Manchild, The Fifth Dimension, Love and Spoonful, Randy Newman, The Beach Boys, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and Black Oak, Arkansas. Black Oak, Arkansas. So, those are all buy it now, best offer. The Beatles at 75, now 76. The Pretenders, the vintage Pretenders bootleg called File Under the Pretenders. This is now a final call. Holly Safe has it for $58. The Michael Nesmith album is called New Infinite Rider on the Big Dogma, $19.99, and these are all buy it now, best offer. Infinite Rider on the Big Dogma, Michael Nesmith, $19.99. And actually, there's one other record, The Beatles. I pulled that out because I was going to take it to the Beatles bin if no one wanted it. This is $29.99. The early Beatles. Did Sticky Fingers go yet? Jimmy Walker, you saw a post, and that is for tomorrow night. The Rolling Stones records are advertised for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. So that will be all night. If you tune in wanting to bid on Rolling Stones, you'll see them from approximately 7 p.m. to midnight. There'll be nothing but Rolling Stones records up for auction. So that's already sold. We have $79 on the Beatles. James Lester, let me know if you want Michael Nesmith. If not, we just got an offer on it from Brent Robley. We have, someone asked about Black Oak. Who asked about Black Oak? If you asked about it, please ask again. And the Pretenders is sold. So the Who record was already sold. The Pretenders is now sold to Holly Safe for $58. So Tanner, that's sold for $58. There's some small inserts that come with that one. And they're still bidding on the Beatles. The Rolling Stones are tomorrow night. And the Beatles is at $80 with Holly Safe. And James Lester, if you don't want Michael Nesmith for $14, we're selling that to Brent Robley. That's going to be sold to Brent. Actually, he put M in. Yeah, Michael Nesmith. I'm assuming it's for that one. All right, let's go through this bin and see what's in here. Once again, all buy it nows, best offer. This one's pretty full. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff in here. Buy it now, best offer. And then I'm going to flip the card around and go through some stuff behind. But as y'all can see, I'm surrounded literally by thousands of LPs. And a lot of this we hadn't been through in a long time. So any Duran Duran. You never know what's in these bins. It has Chevy Van on it. Yes, it does. The Beatles is out with Debbie. Holly Safe has that for $80. Final call. We have Moth the Hoople live, $19.99. These are all buy it now, best offer. Moth the Hoople live, $19.99. If I can get all these straight where I can go through them. Alan Parsons Project, Stereotomy. That's $24.99. Stereotomy, Alan Parsons Project. Jimi Hendrix, Band of Gypsies, $34.99. The last album that was released while he was alive, and it's a live album. It's actually a Fillmore West compilation or Fillmore West concert, $34.99. Kelly says she will take the Sammy Johns. That's sold to Kelly Bagwell. The Beatles is also now sold to Holly Safe for $80, and that means I can get a new auction started. How about another Pretenders bootleg? Looked like we had some interest in the other one. Here's another one. This is the Pretenders. This is called, let's find out. This is recorded live in Europe. This is straight from that Pittsburgh collection. Let's figure out what this one is. I really don't know. It looks, wow. A bootleg in a VRP anti-static sleeve. Somebody took care of this one. Very nice. $35 start. It's on Beacon Island, the Pretenders. $35 start. This says live in Europe. Printed in Australia. So I don't know exactly when or where. But I see some great songs on here like Brass and Pocket. That's a $35 start. The Pretenders. That is now up for bid. Very well taken care of there. Jimi Hendrix, $34.99 was the last record I showed. We have Mickey and Sylvia, Do It Again. Mickey and Sylvia, $14.99 for Mickey and Sylvia featuring Love is Strange. Mott, that's Mott the Hoople. Mott, $19.99. And Rod Stewart, Blondes Have More Fun. Blondes Have More Fun. Rod Stewart, $14.99. Beach Boys in Concert, $14.99 for the Beach Boys in Concert. Green Capital Label, the Beach Boys in Concert. The Beach Boys Light Album, that's $19.99. The Beach Boys Light Album. And Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush, What's Next, $19.99. Another Mott the Hoople, $19.99. 1, 2, and 3 Mott the Hoople albums. I'm going to give somebody a heck of a deal right now. 3 Mott the Hoople albums for $25. 3 Mott the Hoople albums for $25. Who would want that special? What was Jimi Hendrix? Jimi Hendrix was $34.99. This was Band of Gypsies, Gold Record Award, Green Capital Label, $34.99. Jimi Hendrix, $34.99. Of course, that's live, Fillmore East, New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. Okay, we have The Pretenders was at $35.35, $40, $45, $50, $55. Brent Robley offered Frank Marino. He offered $14 for that. That's sold to Brent Robley, and he's going to get the Mott the Hoople deal. Tanner, all 3 of those for $25. Sean Holford, you were second. The Pretenders is at $55 with Henry Pardidez. Brent Robley, you're out. Josh, let me know if you want Jimi Hendrix. If you don't, Holly Safe wants Jimi Hendrix, so that's either sold to Joshua or Holly. David Bowie Tonight. David Bowie is $24.99. This is got the original inner sleeve with it. David Bowie Tonight, $24.99. The Pretenders is at $55 with Henry Pardidez. Final call. Badfinger, Airwaves. Badfinger is $19.99. Brent's out on the Pretenders. That's a final call. And Tanner, this Beatles here, that was sold to Holly Safe earlier for $80. $80. She's also going to get the David Bowie for $22. And Chris B. Jack's going to get Badfinger for $15. Brent's out on the Pretenders. That's a final call for $55. Average White Band, Cut the Cake, $14.99. $14.99, and Average White Band is $14.99. Back-to-back AWB. This one has their hit song on it, Pick Up the Pieces. Chad, if you already sold me a copy of that, Jimmy, I have no idea, Josh. I have no idea. I can't remember. Maybe if you can check, do you have access to check your collection right quick? Maybe you can let me know if you can. I'll give you a few moments, no rush, but right now, I'll put your name on it, and then we'll make Holly Safe a backup, and that's on the Jimi Hendrix Band of Gypsies. Chris B. Jack needs to put back Badfinger. Steppenwolf, Skullduggery. This is $19.99. He says, you already, I thought you were asking me. I was like, oh my goodness, I have no idea what I sold you. He said he already had it, so give that to Holly. I thought you were asking me. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could keep up with everybody's collections. That would really help me out. I'd be like, hey, you don't have this. You need it. This is Pretenders, and this is sold to Henry Pardidez for $55. And Holly Safe takes Steppenwolf, and Chris B. Jack's going to put back the Badfinger. All right, time for a new auction. First, though, we're going to do an Average White Band, Buy one, get one. $15 for both of them, Average White Band. Who needs those? Who needs those? Okay, I think this is, nope, I actually have another one. Uh-oh. I got some really cool Pretenders bootlegs here. These, I think we've already sold a couple before tonight, but here's another one. This is the Pretenders, The Wait. BBC, England, July '79. Average White Band, The Wait. 2 LP, vintage bootleg, $45 start on this one. 2 LP. I can tell how crisp this is. Looks like it's going to be in very nice condition. First time looking at it. Yep, there's always something about these inner sleeves. You can tell like when they're crisp, they probably just hadn't been touched a lot. This is a 40. This is called The Wait. Oh yeah, this is very nice condition. This is the Pretenders, The Wait. That is a up for bid now, $45 start. Average White Band, these are sold to Renee Tanner, both of them for $15. Those are sold to Renee. The Pretenders is 45 and 46. We have Jerry Jeff Walker, I believe. Yeah, Jerry Jeff Walker, 5 years gone. VG condition, $14.99, 69 Terre Haute. Heading out, Jake. Have a good night. Jerry Jeff Walker, This is a 5 years gone VG condition, $14.99. And the great Sammy Davis Jr., $9.99. If you're just tuning in, we are doing Buy It Now Best Offer. We're back here in the back part of the store. We've gone through 2 bins, and we only have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 48, 50, 98, and then we've only got 98 more bins to go through approximately. And then we can start going through crates. So we might be here a while. We've been through a bin and a half, and we have 98 more to go. Next Japanese auction is going to be the No Nukes concert. No Nukes concert is a 2LP. I think this has got some extra stuff with it. There's the inner sleeve. Here's the gatefold cover with Obi. This is a triple LP. That's why it's so heavy. Triple LP. 3LP Japanese vinyl. It includes Japanese inserts with it and a booklet. The No Nukes concert. Doobie Brothers, Jackson Brown, Crosby, Stills and Nash, James Taylor. Very interesting stuff here. Radiation Kills. This is a $45 start. No Nukes concert. Has the original inner sleeve. That's a $45 start. Japanese pressing. The No Nukes concert. All right, so the Pretenders was at $46, $47.50. Brent Robley offered $8 for Jerry Jeff, and he said strike that. And then Jetstream offered $6 for Sammy. That's sold to Jetstream for $6. We have Wes Montgomery down here on the ground. EX condition, $16.99 for Wes Montgomery. Gene Autry's Country Music Hall of Fame, VG Plus condition, $9.99. Alan Wayne Darman. Alan Wayne Darman, EX condition, $14.99. Wings, Paul McCartney, At the Speed of Sound, Wings, VG Plus condition, $27.99. Holly, you're out on the Pretenders. Brent Riley has that for $50. Jeff, you're also out. That's the Pretenders, The Wait, 2LP vintage bootleg. Final call to Brent for $50, and we're looking for a $45 start on the No Nukes concert. A classic, Tommy the Who. Looks like there's some writing on the cover. This is an MCA label pressing, EX condition, $27.99. This is Tommy the Who. That's the black MCA label, the classic rock opera, $27.99. Greg D said he'd give $10 for Wes Montgomery. Go ahead and sell that to him for $10. And Jeff said he'd give $7 for Jerry Jeff. That's an early Jerry Jeff there. Sell that to Jeff McMaster for $7. We have Jon Stewart, the Phoenix Concerts live, $22.99 for Jon Stewart, the Phoenix Concerts. Earl Bostic plays the great hits of 1964. Pink Panther, From Russia with Love, The Lawrence of Arabia, More, The Unforgiven, Maria, Hello Dolly, $19.99. 2 outs on the Pretenders. That's a final call to Brent and a final call to lock in a bid on the No Nukes concert. Earl Bostic plays Bossa Nova. That's on the King label in shrink wrap. Earl Bostic, Blue King label, $24.99 on that. Back-to-back Earl Bostic. The Steam Calliope. Still not pronounced that correctly, but y'all know what I'm talking about. The rare musical instrument like you see at the carnivals, $14.99. And Flash in the Pan, Lights in the Night. Flash in the Pan, $9.99. The Story of Hans Brinker and the Silver Skates, Walt Disney, $19.99 for The Story of Hans Brinker. And Kim Mitchell, Shaken Like a Human Being, VG Plus condition, $9.99. This is sold to Brent Robley for $50. The Pretenders bootleg. If anybody wants the No Nukes concert, it's a $45 buy now. That's got a lot of stuff with it, actually. I'm going to lay it over here because that's got a lot of stuff with it. It's got 3 inner sleeves. It's got a booklet. It's got inserts. And that's sold to David Johnson for $45. I'll let Tanner put all that back together. Tanner, would you mind doing that for me? He says not a bit. Okay, next Japanese auction. And I've got one, unless there's more out of place, I've got one more different Pretenders bootleg. Here's some of the artists that I'm in right now in this bootleg crate. America, The Pretenders, Captain Beyond, and some of these aren't bootlegs, they're official pressings like Captain Beyond. Allman Brothers, Allman Brothers, Allman Brothers, Allman Brothers, Allman Brothers, Allman Brothers, James Brown, Elvis, Buffalo Springfield, Buffalo Springfield, Buffalo Springfield, and then Jackson Brown. These are bootlegs. I've got 1, 2, 3, 2 official presses, 3 official presses, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got 16 Jackson Brown bootlegs. 16 Jackson Brown bootlegs. Dan McKenzie said he'd give 6 for Flash in the Pan. Dan, you got it. That's sold for you for $6. And we have the James Cotton Band 100% Cotton. That is a VG for $9.99. Okay, this first Allman Brothers is actually going to be an official press. This is arguably one of my more favorite Allman Brothers albums. This is the way it was just from Dale's collection. It says the Allman Brothers Band, exceptionally clean. It is. It is a Capricorn reissue. It's a gatefold. It is a gatefold, but man, it's a nice copy. It's kind of got this textured cover. To it. It has the original Capricorn in the sleeve. This is a $25 start. He put exceptionally clean, and it is. I mean, I hadn't even touched it, and it is near mint minus. It's glossy, and it looks like it's new. That's the Allman Brothers Band, self-titled first album. It's not the original on the Atco or, I guess, Atco label, but very, very nice. That's a $25 start, the Allman Brothers Band. That is a must-have. The James Brown is not a bootleg. It's actually an original album. So Brent's at 25 on the Allman Brothers. Let me get a Japanese auction rolling as well. Man, we've almost sold all those Beatles. I think we have sold them all. I've got only one other Beatles Japanese record I have. No, maybe another. We'll do this one first. Actually, let's do this one first. Yeah, this is a $45 start. Very unique release in the Beatles catalog. This is called a collection of Beatles oldies. It was actually not really released here in the States. A collection of Beatles oldies, $45 start. The vinyl is near mint and pristine. It has the Japanese insert with it, and it has an Obi UK Flag Series number 8. Very nice condition. She Loves You, From Me to You, We Can Work It Out, Help, Michelle, Yesterday, I Feel Fine, Yellow Submarine. Side 1, that was side 1. Side 2, Can't Buy Me Love, Bad Boy, Day Tripper, A Hard Day's Night, Ticket to Ride, Paperback Writer, Eleanor Rigby, and I Want to Hold Your Hand. That's the Beatles, and that's a $45 start. All right, we have Allman Brothers, 25, 25, and 30, Jackson Browne Night. We might have to have it. Yeah, we've got also an original press of his first album. He has some information written on the sleeve. I'm trying to figure out what he was trying to say. I think it's the original textured cover, but I think they're all like that. So, yes, James Cotton, great blues music here, 100% Cotton. Thank you, Greg. VG condition, $9.99, James Cotton. Okay, Willie Nelson Collector Series. This is actually a compilation in shrink wrap, $14.99. It's a Willie Nelson. Of course, he has 10 million songs. This is in shrink wrap, $14.99. It's called Collector Series. Near mint on that. Several bids on Allman Brothers and several bids on the Beatles. What do we have here? It looks like Scrabble words. This is Sondheim, a musical tribute, $22.99. A Sunday evening, March 11th, 1973, at the Schubert Theater for AMDA, the American Musical and Dramatic Academy, and the National Hemophilia Foundation. This is a musical tribute. This is $22.99. Chasing Hart, I will sell you James Cotton for $7.99. Rangers win. I got to be honest, I have no idea what's going on in baseball, so I don't even know who's playing. Or what is it? The World? I guess the World Series is officially started, right? The World Series is going on. I don't follow baseball pretty much at all. Elton John, Friends, VG Plus condition, $19.99 for Elton John, Friends. It's enough for me to try to keep up with football. Elton John, Friends, VG Plus. I think this was at. Was this one that was? This has some writing on it. I don't know what's going on there. Elton John signed it. I wish. I thought this was the one that was a promo copy that was at a radio station, but I don't think it is. VG Plus, $9.99, Elton John, Friends. Okay, we got a lot of bids to sort out before I go any further. The Allman Brothers, wow. So we were at 25, 25, 30, and then the Beatles is at 45, 45, 50. Allman Brothers, 35. The Beatles, 52, 55, 60. Tracks on Kim Mitchell. Tracy, I don't think it has the Soda song on it, but it does have Get Lucky, In My Shoes, Alana Loves Me, Patio Lanterns, That's the Hold, In Your Arms, City Girl, Easy to Tame, Cameo Spirit, Heating the Ground. That his hit song was, of course, the Soda album or whatever, the Soda song, very cool. Beatles is at 56, 60. Michael Nath out on Allman Brothers. Beatles 63, 57, Beatles 65, Beatles 68, Beatles 70, Beatles 72. Scott Klima is going to take the Elton John. That's so does Scott Klima. Scott, you get the Elton John. The Beatles is at 75, 78, and 80. The Allman Brothers, so Michael Nath was out. That goes way back up here to Brent Robley. He has it for $35. The Allman Brothers Band, near mint Capricorn reissue. That's now at 35, and they are still bidding on the Beatles. Thomas Bowman's at 11 on Willie. Let's sell that to Thomas Bowman. So if you're just joining us, these are all buy it now, best offer. You can buy them now or make an offer. These two are auctions. The Beatles is a battle right now. We're at $86, and the Allman Brothers is a final call for $35. Brent Robley has that one. Elton John, $24.99 for Blue Moves. It does have a clip corner, $24.99. That is Elton John Blue Moves, $24.99. Patrice Rushen, this is Pizzazz, $9.99 in shrink wrap. Tampa Red, Guitar Wizard, Tampa Red, $24.99. There is some cover damage along the opening of the seam, $24.99. Kim Carnes, Mistaken Identity. This has the hit song Betty Davis Eyes, $9.99. Debbie is at 36 on the Allman Brothers Band. On the Waters, Bread, $12.99 for Bread. On the Waters, Donovan, Volume 2, sealed, $19.99. Donovan, sealed, $19.99. So Brent, Debbie's at 36 on the Allman Brothers. Henry Pardidez wants Tampa Red for $20. That's sold to Henry. The Beatles is now at 86 with John Ellis, and that's a final call. Holly Safe, let me know if you want back in. Ramsey Lewis, Salongo. Ramsey Lewis is $19.99. What an interesting cover. Ramsey Lewis. Smoke City, I Really Want You. Smoke City is $14.99. Also, Audience Lunch. Audience is 72 white label promo, $19.99. Holly Safe is at 90 on the Beatles. That's at 90 with Holly Safe. So John Ellis, you're back out. Call Me Cootie. That is $14.99. John Ellis is back in on the Beatles at 91. Tonight's the Night, SSO, $22.99 for Tonight's the Night, SSO. Grover Washington Jr., All the King's Horses, $19.99, $19.99. And this is Flying High Together, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, $14.99. I'm just not meant to get an answer to the question. Heather, what did you ask me? Heather, let me see. Did I miss something? Chad, any Mavericks albums, old ones before time 2013? I highly doubt it, and there probably wouldn't be back here. And sorry if I overlooked your question. If I see anybody usually ask a question if we have something, I'm not being rude by ignoring it, but I really don't have any idea what we have or what we own. As you can see, there are thousands of random albums back here. I have no idea. So usually when I see somebody hop on and they ask something, just FYI for the future and for anybody else watching new, we really don't know what we have. Now, if somebody asks, Chad, do you have a mono DJ copy of Velvet Underground and Nico, 1967, first press, mint condition, which is like a $2,000 album, I would say, no, we don't have that. But sometimes I have people ask me, Chad, do you have Jethro Tull Heavy Horses? And I'll be like, probably, but I have no idea where it's at. And so we just kind of show and sell whatever's right here. We've tried to keep stuff in order. It's not worth our time. It takes hours and hours to keep these in alphabetical order. And the way we sell records, I know we have a store. People come in our store and like, why is none of your stuff in alphabetical order? And I'm like, well, this is a record store, but we really just sell online. You might just want to watch on Facebook. I've even told locals that before. So the Boys Band, $14.99. If you want to see our newest stuff and stuff that's on sale, you can watch right here. Roy Rogers meets Albert Einstein, works by Sigmund Snopik. That is $9.99. And we have Thunderclap Newman, Hollywood Dream, $26.99 for Thunderclap Newman. So, Brent Robley, if you can hear me, I just want to let you know that Debbie did outbid you on the Allman Brothers. Debbie has it for 36, and it's a final call. Let me know if you want back in. Jackie Lomax, is this what you want? Jackie Lomax is a 69 Apple pressing. Jackie was on Apple, $22.99. They're battling it out over the Beatles, 108, 109. Hubert Laws, the Chicago theme. Hubert Laws is $14.99. Also, Graham Nash, Earth and Sky, $12.99 for Graham Nash. Sweetwater, Just for You, $12.99. And 10 Years After, Stoned Hinge, $19.99 for 10 Years After, Stoned Hinge, $19.99. All right, I'm not going to go back through all that because I'd like to jump around behind me and do another bin. Let me also go ahead and be trying to find it. I'm going to be finding our next bin behind us here. Figure out which one I want to go through first. This looks like some interesting stuff. Wow, okay. Probably go through that one next and probably the bin behind it too. So let me read what's left in here. Brent didn't bid, but Sherry bid $40 on the Allman Brothers. So new bid on the Allman Brothers for $40. The Beatles is at $113. Here's what's left in this bin. We have 10 years after. We have, let's see, 10 years after. Trying to see some of the stuff like I can't believe this didn't sell. Tommy, probably Paul McCartney, but I'm going to read all the titles that's left. If anybody wants to make an offer, let me know. We have Alan Parsons Project, Mickey and Sylvia, Rod Stewart, The Beach Boys, Badfinger, Roy Rogers, or actually that's Gene Autry, Alan Wayne Darman, John Stewart, Earl Bostic, Steam, whatever, Hans Brinker, That Record, Kim Mitchell, Elton John, Blue Moves. If anybody wants to make any offers on these, go right ahead. There's Kim Carnes with Mistaken Identity. We have Bread, also Donovan, Ramsey Lewis, Smoke City, Audience, Tonight's the Night, Call Me Cootie, Grover Washington, Smokey Robinson, The Boys, Roy Rogers, Thunderclap Newman, Jackie Lomax, Hubert Laws, Graham Nash, Elton John, Sweetwater, Wings, and Tommy. We have, Sherry was at 40 on that. Debbie's out on Allman Brothers, and she said good night. Rob Scheffler said he would give 8 for Sigmund. Sell that to Rob Scheffler for 8. Kelly said she'd give 6 for Bread on the Water. Sell that to Kelly for 6. 8 and 6. The Beatles is at 122. Sherry Darnell, I'm going to go ahead and sell you the Allman Brothers for $40. That's sold to Sherry Darnell. Debbie said she was out. All right, let me find the next crate to go through. Maybe make sure I don't want to go through one that's already over here. That doesn't look too bad, but I want to just go to a whole new section. I want to flip the cart completely around and go through these right here. So let me do a complete 180 rotation here on the cart. There's our boots and Japanese bin. And we're going to go through this bin right here with the Bee Gees that's front and centered. So let me get this right here. And actually, now I'm blocked. Tanner, I may need some help. The auction crates are blocked now. I could have stood on the other side, I guess. That would have been better. Hold on a second. Yeah, that way I can hand them to my right. I got to make sure I'm handing them off to my right so Tanner's next to me. So, yeah, as long as I can get to that other crate too. So, yeah, I can reach those. And that other crate, if you want to. Yeah, I need that one as well. Okay. So, Beatles 122, 123, 128. John's out. This is Holly Safes at 128. Final call. The Beatles, a collection of Beatles oldies. 128. Holly Safe. Final call. And John's out. And somebody asked, what was the Smokey? Let me bring my phone over here. I see some newer albums in here too, so interesting to see what's in here. The Smokey Robinson was called Flying High Together. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. Flying High Together. It's in shrink wrap on the Tamla Motown label. $14.99. That is available. All right, we're going to go through some more records back here. These are all Buy It Now Best Offer. I'm also going to continue with some auctions. Let me figure out when these were marked. It looks like stuff from back in August and July. Seems like a long time ago to me. I can't believe we're already in November. I'm already talking about Christmas and Christmas plans for the store, Christmas sales, Christmas decorations. Wow. All right. So, final call on the Beatles. When that's officially sold in just a moment, I'll put up some new stuff, including a couple new bootlegs. I got another Pretenders bootleg. This is Hey Jude, Hey Bing, $9.99. Bing Crosby, $9.99. These are all Buy It Now Best Offer. Burton Cummings, $12.99. We have Chuck Berry's Golden Hits. Chuck Berry's Golden Hits, $24.99 on the Mercury label. Chuck Berry's Golden Hits. Johnny B. Good, $24.99. No Base Hit. Dave McKenna, Scott Hamilton, and Jack Hanna. No Base Hit, $9.99. Gene Autry's Country Music Hall of Fame, $9.99. Montrose Summit Volume 2. Montrose Summit Volume 2, that is $19.99. Bob James, George Duke, Billy Cobham, Steve Kahn, Eric Gale, Stan Getz. Montrose Summit, $19.99. The Rolling Stones, Love You Live. This is $24.99. Wow. Still available. The Rolling Stones, Love You Live. I thought I would find more Beatles and Stones albums back here. But so far, we've only found 2, and I've sold one of them. Love You Live, $24.99 on that. $24.99. Tanner, this is sold to Holly Safe for $128. That's a collection of Beatles oldies. We have Scott Klima, CB, $14. Chuck Berry, sell that to Scott Klima for $14.99. Sell John Miller, the Rolling Stones, for $20. we have the Beach Boys, High Water, a 2-record set. That is $19.99. That's a compilation. Leads off of Good Vibrations and God Only Knows. The Beach Boys, $19.99. Cecil and Blake, $14.99 for Cecil and Blake. And J.O. Felony, What You're Gonna Do, $19.98, $24.99. J.O. Felony. So I think we have one Pretenders bootleg left here. Wow, this has got some kind of newspaper with it too. This is pretty cool. Let's take a look at it. The Pretenders, One Night Stand. The Pretenders, One Night Stand. I think we may have had this one before. Not tonight, but let's take a look at it. It is a 2LP Pretenders bootleg, and I'm going to go ahead and say a $45 start because I'm going to include this magazine with it, and I'll show you that in just a second. So, yeah, this is nice. I can tell by the crispness of the inner sleeves. The Pretenders, One Night Stand, $45 start. It looks like it is Santa Monica, California, 1980. That is a $45 start. So, and then it's going to include this. It was folded up in the jacket. It's a New Musical Express magazine. It does have a rip in the cover, but it has Chrissie Hynde on the cover, lead singer, and she also played the guitar in The Pretenders. So that's a vintage 1980 music newspaper magazine as well. So you get that, The End of the Longest Night. Shattered by the deaths of the 2 founding members, the Pretenders have pieced themselves together and made a new beginning with an LP they're calling Learning to Crawl. Chrissie Hynde recounts the traumas of the past and her hopes for the future. The original 2 members of the Pretenders died, and then they formed a new band, and then that album came out, Learning to Crawl, which has Back on the Chain Gang. That whole album is great. So they kind of had a new group there with the Pretenders. That's a $45 start. That's a vintage Pretenders bootleg with that magazine kind of newspaper type thing. Back to the bin. Bo Diddley, VG minus $34.99, but this is a 1958 mono. That is a 1958 original mono, Bo Diddley. It is like most of them are though. VG minus condition, $34.99. Bo Diddley. Herbie Mann, Memphis Underground, VG copy, $12.99. Stanley Clark, Journey to Love. Stanley Clark is VG plus $14.99. The Beau Brummel 66, a 66 mono, gold Warner Brothers label, VG plus condition, $19.99. Test 1-2, is anybody out there? I haven't seen a comment in a few minutes, not since John Miller bought the Rolling Stones for $20. I figured by now somebody would have bid on the Pretenders. Is everybody awake? Are you celebrating the World Series? What's going on? Test 1-2. I can't believe it's already after 10 o'clock, too. We're going to try to go to 11 if we can, but I've got to start working on Rolling Stone stuff. Oh, my gosh. I got so many Rolling Stones records, and plus, I got to get records ready, just other records to show, too, because Paul's still on that trip, so it's just John here tomorrow. He's going to price as much as possible, but we do have a lot of stuff to get to, so... All right, Greg D offered $25 for the Diddley. You got it, Diddley. So for $25, I'm looking for a $45 start on the Pretenders. It looks like we have a few people alive. Jetstream, Joshua, Kelly, Sean, and Henry's Choice. So I at least know I got 5 people watching. We can still have a show. Freddie Hubbard, Bundle of Joy. It looks like his trumpet is wrapped in red Christmas paper. EX condition, $17.99. Go by Bo Diddley. Now this is in VG condition, a 59 mono, $49.99. Go by Bo Diddley, VG condition, $49.99. That's also a tougher one to get. We have Gordon Lightfoot, Gord's Gold, VG plus $21.99. Are you still doing Metal Thursdays? This Thursday is Rolling Stones. This is Metal Rolling Stones night. No, Metal, we are low stock right now, so we got enough in the back probably to do another show, but we've already scheduled Stones night, and last night was Led Zeppelin Part 2. We're looking to buy metal records. We are looking to buy metal records. If anybody has a collection for sale, let me know. We need some. I hadn't made that post yet, but when we start advertising, we buy them, we'll have collections just rolling in. So all of a sudden, we'll have more metal than we can handle. But right now, we are pretty much got enough for one more solid show, and then we'll need more records for metal. Carly Simon. Now, we have unlimited supply of vintage 60s, 70s, 80s pop, rock, and soul. And jazz and country. Stampeders, Sweet City Woman, $19.99 for the Stampeders, Sweet City Woman. The Falcon and the Snowman soundtrack, original motion picture soundtrack, VG plus $12.99. The Crazy World of Arthur Brown, VG copy $12.99. And Big Hits, High Tide and Green Grass, the Rolling Stones. That has that original hype sticker with it EX Condition, $36.99. Big Hits, High Tide and Green Grass, EX Condition, $36.99. Satisfaction As Tears Go By, Classic Stones Comp. All right, who wants to buy the Pretenders for a $45 buy it now? The Pretenders, $45 buy it now with the newspaper. With the newspaper. That's a buy it now. Weather Report, Heavy Weather, $34.99 for Weather Report Heavy Weather. And we have Suzanne Ciani, The Velocity of Love, $14.99 for Suzanne Ciani. This is not the new Dream Syndicate album live, $19.99. Holly Safe gets the Pretenders. Tanner, that was a $45 buy it now. And we have Naz by Naz. This is on red vinyl, the very desirable first OG pressing on SGC, $64.99. Todd Rundgren and Naz, the original SGC pressing on red vinyl. That's the first and most desirable pressing of that album. Bob Dylan and the Band, Basement Tapes, $49.99. Hit a couple good ones here. Naz on red vinyl and Bob Dylan and the Band, the Basement Tapes. If I can get the LPs out. Holly Safe wants Naz. Let me see what's going on. Looks like somebody has probably examined it here in the store, and they did not do a good job putting it back in here. They didn't. This is the bad thing about leaving records out for the public to look at them. Some people know what they're doing. Some people don't. This is $49.99. Bob Dylan and the Band. Greg offered $35. I'm going to sell it to him. Sell that to Greg D for $35. Next is Go For Your Guns, the Isley Brothers. $19.99 for the Isley Brothers. There's another copy of the Rascal C. We sold one of those earlier. The Rascal C, original pressing. This is also, the other one was a Presswell. This is a CTH, 4-digit. The Rascals, $14.99. We have It's a Funky Thing to Do, Hank Crawford, $19.99. Let's see what I have in the bootleg bin. I've got stuff that's still not bootlegs. I've got Jackson Browne. Let's see what this is. Rare Jackson promo picture disc. It's shaped like a heart. Let me look at that again. Let me pull this one out, which I'll go ahead and auction. This is a quadraphonic press of Jackson Browne, Late for the Sky. A quadraphonic press. It is nice. Jackson Browne, Late for the Sky. I'll start that for just $10. A quadraphonic press of Late for the Sky. Straight from the Pittsburgh collection. I'll clean that and put it in new sleeves. That is a $10 start for that. Jimmy Smith, The Boss, $24.99. So far we had a Hank Crawford, and now here's a Jimmy Smith Black Verve label. Jimmy Smith, The Boss. Black Oak, Arkansas, Underdog Heroes, limited edition gold vinyl, sealed, limited to 300 copies. Wow. Gold vinyl, Black Oak, Arkansas. Gold vinyl, $34.99. Jackson Browne's at 10. Jackson Browne's at 12. The Best of the Bee Gees. That is sealed, $26.99. The Best of the Bee Gees. So we have two sealed records there, Black Oak and Bee Gees. Sad Cafe. Sad Cafe is sealed. That's an original sealed copy, $16.99. Also, a tribute to Black Oak, Arkansas. Mutants of the Monster. Mutants of the Monster, tribute to Black Oak, Arkansas, sealed, $24.99. Holly Safe wants the Bee Gees. That's sold to Holly Safe. B.J. Thomas, The Very Best of B.J. Thomas, limited edition silver vinyl. That is sealed for $21.99. And ABBA, Live at Wembley, 3 LP set, features the complete November 10th, 1979 ABBA show, $79.99. That's a half-speed master. $79.99. Tommy Flowers, let me know if you want back in on Jackson Browne. Henry has that for $15. There is Jackson Browne. Let me see what I have here with Greg Allman. I think I've had these before. This is a Greg Allman Record Store Day picture disc. He's doing Whipping Post, I'm No Angel, both live at the Grand Opera House in Macon, Georgia. He's also doing Melissa live at the Fox Theater in Atlanta. And then he's got a new cover of Midnight Rider, or not a new cover, a new version of Midnight Rider with Vince Gill and Zach Brown. That was a Record Store Day picture disc. Greg Allman, $10 start. Greg Allman, picture disc. So Whipping Post, I'm No Angel, and Melissa all live, and then Midnight Rider with Zach Brown and Vince Gill, $10 on that. Tommy's going to let us know if he's in or out on Jackson Browne. Henry has that for $15. Brian Wilson, his classic hits reimagined for solo piano, At My Piano, Brian Wilson. That's Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, $19.99. Tommy's out on Jackson Brown. Henry has that for 15. Final call. Surfer Girl, The Beach Boys. That is sealed, $19.99. That's 180-gram pressing of The Beach Boys Surfer Girl. Preston's at 15 on Greg Allman. The Band, Stage Fright, 50th anniversary edition of The Band, newly remixed and remastered, an unreleased original sequence by Robbie Robertson. That is sealed, $34.99. This is possibly on colored vinyl. You can't tell unless you open it. It is sealed, $34.99. Jetstream offered $12 for the Brian Wilson. Sell that to Jetstream for $12. Also, we have Elton John live in Moscow. This is a great concert, 1979, $29.99. Danielle, Take Me to the Pilot, Rocket Man. Great version of Rocket Man. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, Candle in the Wind, Heard It Through the Grapevine. That's just side one. Lots of tracks on here. Elton John's $29.99, live in Moscow. That's back out of print now. So let's go ahead and sell Jackson Brown to Henry Partidez. A quadraphonic pressing sold for $15. Final call on Greg Allman for $15. That is with Preston Rose. He's at $15. And we have Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, the original motion picture soundtrack. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, $29.99. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Also, Jefferson Starship Spitfire, $14.99. And here at last, the Bee Gees Live. That's a sealed copy, a 2020 pressing, sealed, just $26.99. $26.99. So, Elton John, Jetstream 20. I will do 25 on that one. I'll do 25 on Elton John. Chris Bijak just offered 24. My price is 25. Jetstream first, Chris Bijak second if they want it. James Lester offered 22 for The Band, Stage Fright. James Lester, if you want that, I'll do $28 on it. It is sealed. $28. $28, James Lester. You got dibs on that. Chris Farrar offered $14.99 for the Isley Brothers. Let me find that. Isley Brothers, $14.99. I'm going to go ahead and sell that to Chris for $14.99. Amy Hutchings wants the Beach Boys Live at Sticker. Now, Chris Bijak, he passed, and he said he'll take it for $25. So Chris said he'll take that for $25. I'm also about to sell Greg Allman for $15 to Preston Rose if no one else bids. And that just means James Lester has dibs on The Band, the sealed copy, possibly on colored vinyl for $28. All right, let me figure out which crate we're going to go through next. This one over here looks pretty interesting. Let's see here. Looks pretty interesting here. He says he'll pass on The Band. Okay, actually, I need to read what's left in here. Let's go ahead and sell Preston Rose, Greg Allman for $15. And I'm going to read what's left, and let me grab another auction. Took several out of that bin. Trying to definitely thin some stuff out back here. There is the Smokey Robinson that didn't sell. Let's see what we have in this bin. I got some more Elvis bootlegs back here. Buffalo Springfield. Some of these I want to figure out what they are. Okay, this is that Allman Brothers. This is a bootleg called the Allman Brothers, the original Miami Macon sessions, and I think that were those first recordings. I think this is those first recordings that, like I've said before, they were recorded right before the Allman Brothers actually formed. It's called the Allman Brothers, the original Miami Macon sessions, which has Morning Dew, Midnight Rider. See, I don't remember a version of Midnight Rider being on there too. Melissa too. That's a pretty interesting bootleg there, the Allman Brothers. It looks, I'll Change for You, God Rest His Soul, but it also has Black Hearted Woman, How Blue. There's a couple of those on there I don't really recall seeing. So there's an Allman Brothers bootleg. I've never shown before. $45 start. $45 start. Here's what's left in this bin. If you need prices, let me know. Or if you already know the price, you want to make an offer, let me know. Bing Crosby's $9.99. Burton Cummings. We had No Base Hit with Dave McKenna. Gene Autry, the Montrose Summit, the Beach Boys compilation, Sissel and Blake, J.O. Felony, Herbie Mann, Stanley Clark, the Beau Brummels, Freddie Hubbard, Bo Diddley, Gordon Lightfoot, Carly Simon, the Stampeders, the Falcon and the Snowman, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown, Big Hits, High Tide and Green Grass, The Weather Report, Suzanne Ciani, Dream Syndicate, The Rascals, Hank Crawford, Jimmy Smith, Sad Cafe, Black Oak, Arkansas, Tribute to Black Oak, Arkansas, B.J. Thomas, ABBA, Surfer Girl, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles soundtrack, Jefferson Starship, and the band. Looking for a $45 start on the Almond Brothers. All right, we'll probably go through one more bin. We'll probably go through one more bin while we're back here and see what we have. Let me see what's in this bin, actually. Looks like some interesting stuff in here. Yeah, definitely some interesting stuff in here. I'm probably going to flip it around. This bin has got, this is about a half of a bin, and then we may move down here and then do this. So I'm actually going to completely rotate again. So final call if you want to lock in a bid on the Almond Brothers. Maybe one of our last auctions of the night, but I still will put stuff up if you keep bidding. The Jimmy Smith, Sandra, the Jimmy Smith was $24.99. That's an original, the Boss on the black Verve label, $24.99. I'm going to take that with me in case you decide you want it. I'm going to go through this crate right over here, which means I've got to do another complete rotation, which is okay. And Almond Brothers, Michael Nath, we're looking for a $45 start. It's called the Original Miami Macon Sessions. I don't know a lot about it, just pulled it from the bin, but looks fair enough to me for a $45 start. And if you're late here watching, you might catch a couple of deals because there's not many people on as usual this time of night. We still got 132 viewers on both platforms, but usually, sometimes about 10:30 at night, we have as many as, I've seen this time of night, hey, we have 200 people on. Jackson Brown bootleg. Yeah, I'll do that. And Tanner, I just blocked myself from the bootleg crate again. Yeah, I'll do a Jackson Brown too. I'll do a Jackson Brown. So, Nicholas Abba would be $65. Okay, if you want that. Final call on the Almond Brothers for $45. I just need, yeah, you can hand it to me. As long as your back don't go out. Tanner's still on the injured reserve. Slightly injured reserve. Let's do one of the Jackson Browns. Let's see what we have here. This one looks really cool. It's got a really cool cover. Jackson Brown. Let's go ahead and run it. Let's go ahead and sell this to Michael Nath. Let's go through this half crate here. All bought, now best offer. And here's our next auction. Jackson Brown on the road. Jackson Brown on the road. 2 LP. This is going to be a $35 start. Jackson Brown on the road. Very clean vinyl. It's on the Phoenix label, 1979. Let's see if we can figure out where it's from. It doesn't say. It has lots of tracks on it. He starts out with Take It Easy. Jamaica Say You Will, For Every Man, Rock Me on the Water, Holiday Inn, Cocaine, Werewolves of London, Take It Easy Again, Rock Me on the Water. Must be 2 different concerts. Must be 2 different concerts. Very cool there. What an amazing performer, Jackson Brown. All right, let's go through this bin. All bought, now best offer. Let's see what we have. Stevie Wonder, Characters. Bought, now best offer. Stevie Wonder is $24.99 for Characters. The OJs, Ship Ahoy. The OJs is $22.99. Bought, now best offer on these. Bonnie Raitt, Sweet Forgiveness. $9.99 for Bonnie Raitt. Also Olivia, Let Me Be There. Olivia Newton-John, $9.99. The message is Love, and this is by Barry White. Barry White, $14.99. Let me put my phone right over here. Barry White. We have James Taylor, One Man Dog, $19.99 for James Taylor on the Green Warner Brothers label, $19.99. Paul Simon. Paul Simon is $19.99. Molly Hatchet. That is their self-titled first album, Molly Hatchet, with Frank Frazetta artwork. Very cool. $24.99 for Molly Hatchet. Paul Simon, Graceland, $29.99 for Graceland. You Can Call Me Al, $29.99. Overall, though, a great album. We always mention that hip-hop single, but always a great album there. Paul Simon. Kelly Bagwell said Taylor, $8. Taylor, James Taylor, can't do that. James Taylor will be $15 on James Taylor, One Man Dog, if you want that, Kelly. The Best of Bill Withers, $44.99. 1, I can't believe this didn't sell. And 2, I can't believe it's still in here, which is the same thing. Bill Withers is $44.99. The Best of Bill Withers. Love Child, Diana Ross and the Supremes, $14.99. Diana Ross and the Supremes, Love Child, $14.99. Conway Twitty, Don't Call Him a Cowboy, $9.99. Kelly said she'll take James Taylor for $15. I'll put that on top of Michael Nath's Almond Brothers. And Rydell Martin says he'll take Bill Withers. Great. Those are both sold. I can't believe that didn't sell the first time I showed it, whenever I did show it the first time. Harry Belafonte is $39.99. By the way, update on James Jackson Brown back here. Chris B. Jack's at $38 on Jackson Brown. John Porter offered $12 for DR. Dinah Ross, perhaps. Sell that for $12 to John Porter. Next is Jason Conklin, offered $7 for Conway Twitty. That's sold to Jason Conklin for $7. Harry Belafonte, yes. Tormato, yes, is $19.99. The New World of Charlie Rich, now everybody knows. The New World of Charlie Rich, $9.99. Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush, World Anthem. EX Condition, $17.99. Dave Loggins, Apprentice in a Musical Workshop. Wow, this has the song Please Come to Boston. Fantastic. It's one of those that'll put you into a trance when he starts singing. Dave Loggins, Please Come to Boston. Music, Apprentice in a Musical Workshop. Tony Bennett and Count Basie, $12.99. Bennett and Basie, Strike Up the Piano. Jay Giles, Showtime, the historic live album. That has Centerfold on it, $19.99. And The Firm, this is $29.99. It's a near mint copy, original inner sleeve. Jimmy Page, Paul Rogers, The Firm, $29.99. Update on our auction. If you're done bidding, let me know. Chris B. Jack has the Jackson Brown On the Road Vintage Bootleg for $38. That's a final call. Jetstream has Count Basie. That's sold to Jetstream. Also, Traffic, Shoot Out the Fantasy Factory. Now, this doesn't have clip corners. It does have clip corners, but it was supposed to be made like that. Die-cut cover of Traffic, Shoot Out the Fantasy Factory. Bruce Springsteen in shrink wrap. This is Bruce Springsteen, The Wild, The Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle. Springsteen is $19.99. We have The Police, Ghost in the Machine. The Police is $24.99. Ghost in the Machine, original inner sleeve, $24.99 for The Police. The Blasters, self-titled, $19.99. And Huey Lewis and the News, Picture This. Picture This by Huey Lewis and the News. That is $19.99. Scott Klima offered $15.99 for Bruce. That's sold to Scott Klima. Traffic, Price, and Condition. EX Plus, Near Mint Minus, $19.99. Greg D offered $20 for The Police. That's sold to Greg D for $20. And Brian Arrigo offered $15 for The Blasters. That's sold to Brian Arrigo. Let's also go ahead and sell the Jackson Brown. I was waiting for Don to for sure say out. I may have missed it, but I've got to go ahead and sell it to Chris for $38. And that's the Jackson Brown bootleg there, $38. The Eurythmics is $19.99. We also have Procol Harum, A Salty Dog, $19.99. The Beach Boys, I Love You, $24.99. Or Love You. And then there's Jimmy Smith from that other crate, $24.99. Jimmy Smith, The Boss. These are all buy it now best offer. As you can tell, you can make any offer you want. It won't bother me. I'll either say I'll pass. I'll never say I'll pass. I counter. I could have something for $5,000. You could say $1, and I'll probably say no, but I will take $49.95 for it. $49.95, yeah. Here's what's left in here. First, Henry's Choice is going to get the Molly Hatchet for $15. That's sold to Henry's Choice. Stevie Wonder Characters, The OJ, Ship Ahoy, Bonnie Raitt, Sweet Forgiveness, Olivia, Let Me Be There, The Message Is Love, Barry White, Paul Simon, his self-titled first debut album, Mother and Child Reunions on here, Me and Julio, Down by the Schoolyard, Love Me Like a Rock. Is that one on here? No, that's on the one with Kodachrome. Mother and Child Reunion. Paul Simon. We have Paul Simon, Graceland. Harry Belafonte, a classic, live at Carnegie Hall. Just a great vocal performance. $39.99. That's an original RCA. Victor Pressing. Yes, Tormato. Charlie Rich. Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush. Dave Loggins is still available. So is Jay Giles Live. The Firm, a mint copy. Traffic is still available. So is Huey Lewis, the Eurythmics, Procol Harum, the Beach Boys, and that Jimmy Smith record again. Gerard Cacciatore, the OJs. The OJ Ship Ahoy is $22.99. The OJ's Ship Ahoy. It's got some writing. Looks like J.B. wrote his name on the cover. It's on the original Philadelphia label, $22.99. The early Paul Simon, Leslie, that was $19.99. About a VG Plus cover. It includes the original inner sleeve with the lyrics. Let's see if another one on here I recognize. The Mama Pajama rolled out of bed and she ran to the police station. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Jason Conklin offered $12 for the J. Giles, which if I can find it, I'm going to pull it. It's a bright orange cover. There it is. Had black trim, though. That sold to Jason Conklin for $12. Sorry if y'all just heard my knuckles crack. Oh, there went my neck and back, too. Sorry if y'all, it came through the mic. Sure it did, right, Tanner? Okay. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Loggins, Kenny Loggins, that was Apprentice in a Musical Workshop. That was $14.99. Also has a gold stamp promo on the back. Procol Harum, 12. A Salty Dog. Go ahead and sell it for 12. Also, go ahead and sell Traffic for 12. 12. Tommy Flowers and Richard Group. We're thinning out this bin. Now we just need to sell Kelly, Dave Loggins for $12. Should we go through one more half bin here? Should we go through one more half bin? I will take $10 for it. You'll enjoy it, believe me. How could you say no? Let's see what's in this other half crate right here very quickly. And we're going to sell Paul Simon to Leslie for $12. Anybody else want to make a $12 offer? Sell Kelly, Dave Loggins for $10. We're going to sell Paul Simon for $12 to Leslie Holt. Tanner, I'm going to hand all these off to you. And we're going to go through this other half bin right here and see what's in here. Probably one of our last little half bins here. Or I might keep going because there's a half bin next to it too. We sold about half of that half bin. Let's try to sell half of this half bin. Boston. Pete A. wrote his name on the cover. He also played it a lot because it's in VG condition and it's $14.99. That is the original label though for Boston. VG condition, $14.99. Teenage Guitars Go Civil War. Glory Kennedy and her 3 electric guitars. EX condition, $59.99. Teenage Guitars Go Civil War. EX condition, $59.99. Hamilton Camp, here's to you. Hamilton Camp is in EX condition, $19.99. We also have Coming of Age, the 5-man electrical band, VG Plus, $19.99. Introducing the Beau Brummels. Introducing the Beau Brummels is in VG condition, $14.99. Slow Train Coming, Bob Dylan, EX condition, $32.99. Dylan, Slow Train Coming, EX condition, $32.99. We have Don Convey, Super Dude 1, VG Plus condition, $19.99. Don Convey, Super Dude 1, VG Plus, $19.99. Original motion picture soundtrack to Zachariah, VG condition, $9.99. Juice Newton and Silver Spur, Come to Me. It's one you don't see as often. Juice Newton, $9.99. Come to Me. Golden Hits of Gene Pitney. It looks like the Platters' greatest hits. That's how the Platters cover looks. Gene Pitney, $9.99. The Golden Hits. The Supremes sing Holland, Dozier, Holland. That's a trio of Motown writers that wrote most of those hit songs. Holland, Dozier, Holland. There they are. They wrote all those classic Motown songs, or at least a lot of them. That's in shrink wrap. You Keep Me Hanging On, Love Is Here and Now You're Gone, and 10 others. That is $16.99 in shrink wrap. The Supremes. Classic stuff there. Holland, Dozier, Holland. If you check your label or the credits on a lot of those Motown songs, you'll see Holland, Dozier, Holland. They wrote a lot of those hits. Leslie Holt wants Juice Newton. That's sold to Leslie Holt. Next, we have the Turtles, $14.99. This is, I think, yeah, the Turtles, Turtle Soup, $14.99. We have a $14 offer on the Supremes and a $10 offer. We're going to sell it to John Porter. He was first for $14. That's sold to John Porter. Next is Sinatra's Sinatra. Sinatra's Sinatra. And this is, let me check it. There's no label on it. We'll say $14.99. Very clean vinyl. Sinatra, $14.99. Rare Earth in Concert. This has a sticky note on it. I don't know why. VG Plus, $19.99. Rare Earth in Concert. Jetstream wants Sinatra. Now, Tanner, that didn't have a price on it, but I said $14.99. So that's sold to Jetstream. Next is Encore. Hey, there it is. Encore of Golden Hits by the Platters. That is actually sealed. $19.99. It's a Columbia House pressing. That looks... I think Gene Pitney got ripped off. I think they pretty much stole that cover. Or maybe the Platters ripped off Gene Pitney. But usually you see this much more often. So, Chris, you were second on Sinatra. And Scott Klima, you were third. The Boomtown Rats, The Fine Art of Surfacing. Boomtown Rats is $19.99. Boston, Don't Look Back. VG Plus condition. So we got Boston's first album, and we got Boston's second album. This is VG Plus condition, $24.99 for Don't Look Back. The Cars, Candy O, VG Plus, $19.99. Great song right there. It's All I Can Do. It also has Let's Go, major hit, VG Plus, $19.99. Spyro Gyra, Access All Areas, $19.99. Rick Wakeman, this is Rhapsodies. Rick Wakeman is $24.99. We're going to sell John Porter the sealed platters for $14. John Porter gets the sealed platters for $14. Jetstream is at $20 on Boston. Let's sell that to Jetstream for $20. The Johnny Van Zant Band, The Last of the Wild Ones, with hop sticker, include It's You, $24.99 for Johnny Van Zant. And the all-time greatest hits of Roy Orbison, $24.99. The all-time greatest hits of Roy Orbison, $24.99. So this bin has the following records left: Boston Self-Titled, Teenage Guitars, Gloria Kennedy, Hamilton Camp, Five-Man Electrical Band, The Beau Brummels featuring Laugh Laugh, Bob Dylan, Slow Train Coming, Don Convey, Super Dude, Zachariah soundtrack, The Turtles, Turtle Soup, Rare Earth in Concert, Boomtown Rats, The Golden Hits of Gene Pitney, The Cars, Candy O, great cover, Spyro Gyra, Access All Areas, Rick Wakeman, Rhapsodies, the Johnny Van Zant Band, and the all-time greatest hits of Roy Orbison. John Porter needs to put back the platters. He already has it. He needs to put back the platters. He already has it. Let's see what we have in here. Scott Klima Boston is $15. Yes, it is in VG condition. And if anybody wants the platters, I had sold that to John Porter. It is sealed for $14. $14. All right, I'm going to make this bin much easier. I'm just going to read the titles, actually. And if you want prices, let me know. It's probably the last little half bin we flip through. I'm just going to read the titles, though, instead of going through all of them and telling prices and information. Just a quick flip, and we'll probably wrap up there for two reasons. One, I got to start working on tomorrow's sale, and I'm extremely hungry, but I feel like we've got a good stopping point back here. We've been through a lot back here. We've been through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including this half bin, 6 or 7 bins back here, well, at least half bins. So, see something you're interested in, let me know. We have Aretha Franklin, Aretha, Sting, The Dream of the Blue Turtles, War's Greatest Hits, Benny Maupin, Moonscapes, Jonathan King, or Then Again, Jorge Ben, Big Ben Strikes Again, The Newborn Free, The Hesitations, Kenny and the Casuals, Gene Vincent Memorial Album, The T-Bones with Gary Farr, Them Bones, Blue Cheer, one of their later albums, VIM, Maggie's Last Party, Rick Derringer, Outside Stuff, Grover Washington Jr. live at the Bajou or something like that. Great album, though. I've listened to that before. Very good, funky stuff there. Jeffrey Osborne, Donnie Marie Osmond. Donnie Marie Osmond, that's $9.99. Bob Dylan, John Wesley Harding, The Beach Boys, Keeping the Summer Alive. The Beach Boys, Keeping the Summer Alive. Downy Mildew, Boom Tree. Willie Bobo, A New Dimension. Olivia Newton-John, Totally Hot. Spats, also Randy Newman, Little Criminals. Umo Dictic, Fahrenheit, I'm not sure how to say that second word. Bee Gees Fahrenheit, Bee Gees Idea. Let's Straighten It Out, More, Lattimore, and Tom Fogerty, Excalibur. It's got a case pocket knife stuck in a space rock out in space. The Grover Jetstream Live is $19.99. It's a 2LP gatefold on that Kudo label, I believe is what that's called. Yeah, Kudo. John Smetzer, yes, you got the platters. That's sold to John Smetzer for $14. You got the platters. The Bee Gees, price on the Bee Gees. Bee Gees. Did I say Bee Gees? Bee Gees, Idea. This is $29.99, a 68 Monarch. 68 Monarch, $29.99, two-tone Atco label. But Leslie, don't hesitate to make an offer on that. We're going to sell this to Jetstream for $15. We're going to sell Mike Langford the Blue Cheer for $12. I like that. He just made an offer. He even asked the price first. $12. Sold for $12. I didn't even look at the sticker either. I'm going to sell it for $12 because I know I've shown it two or three times. I know I've shown it 2 or 3 times. And Sting, Dream of the Blue Turtles, $24.99. $24.99. This has the original inner sleeve with it. $24.99. Sting. Anybody else? I'm thinking Wendy's, Tanner. Tanner's got some pizza up front, I think. But you know what? I was watching that podcast last night, and they were eating pizza, and now I feel like, man, I haven't had a good pizza in a long time. But that'd be pretty heavy for this time of night, wouldn't it? That's it. You eat pizza right now, you might as well head to bed, and I can't do that. So somebody was reviewing a pizza the other day I was watching, and they was like, this thing's heavy. After you eat this thing, you're done. You're done for the day. You're going to be wanting to lay down. That thick pizza like Domino's and Pizza Hut, man, after you eat it, you're just dead. You're just ready to go. He's right. You're just wanting to go to sleep. Time to go to sleep. Yeah, food coma. It's just you're done. All right, so we sold back up to the top. Jason Conslin passed on Sting. We're going to sell it to Scott Klima for $20. Might as well do Whataburger. I know, but I like Wendy's better than Whataburger, I think. I think I've reached that decision. Price on GWJ, Grover Washington Jr. Retro class, we've already sold that. Leslie, I'm going to sell this to you for $14.99. No problem there. See? $14.99. Okay. That's the Bee Gees, the Leslie Ho. Anybody else? Let's show the Stevie Wonder back here. Somebody needs to add this to their collection if you don't already have it. We've got it marked $39.99. This is Stevie Wonder's greatest hits, essentially. It's called Looking Back. It's a 3 LP compilation of his best music. $39.99. Think about that. If that was new, if this was pressed today, it would probably be $59.99 or $64.99 or something like that. Vintage vinyl. There's some damage here on the cover. It was originally a punch hole, a cutout. $39.99. And don't hesitate to make an offer. Darren Davis offered $18 for Roy Orbison's all-time greatest hits. Sell that to Darren for $18. It has a cutout and 2 punches. Yeah, they really had trouble selling this originally, which is surprising. Just think, that was probably in a discount bin at one point for like $1. Back in the, early 80s probably. Probably for $1, you could have went to a store and bought that in the cutout bin. Sold to Scott Klima. We're going to sell it to him $35. That's called inflation and proper investing. Let's see here. Jetstream offered $1. Scott, that's a great. I have that myself. You know, if you're gonna listen to Stevie Wonder, you know that's Yes shows. Triple LP or 2 LP live, yes, $34.99. Yes shows, 2 LP, near mint. That is a CRC pressing. Classic live, yes though. Gatefold. Time and a Word going for the 1. The Gates of Delirium taking up the entire side 2. Ritual Part 1 and Part 2. Wonder Stories. Some wild epic music on there. Somebody offered something else earlier. What was that? How much was the War's Greatest Hits? Was that in here? War's Greatest Hits. War's Greatest Hits is a VG copy for $14.99. All day music. VG copy, $14.99. Lowriders on there too. Brent's going to get yes for $25. I like this. I'm just picking out. This is Chad's picks. Here we go. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, Deja Vu, another essential. This one's a lower grade record, just $12.99. Deja Vu, Carry On, Teach Your Children, a Graham Nash, Helpless by Neil Young, Woodstock, originally written by Joni Mitchell, Our House, of course, Deja Vu, that is VG $12.99. John Porter said he'd give 11 for War's Greatest Hits. Let me figure out what I've done with it right here. Sell that to John Porter for 11. VG $12.99 for Deja Vu. Chad's picks. Chad's picks. Let's see here. Let's see here. I see some stuff probably y'all would buy, but it's not a Chad's pick. Al Green's Greatest Hits. VG copy, just $19.99. Wow, it's a club copy. I'm so tired of being alone. I'm still in love with you. Let's stay together. I can't get next to you. You ought to be with me. Those are great, great, soulful Al Green's Greatest Hits. VG condition, $19.99. $19.99. That's on the High Records label. That is, I think we'd buy as a Chad's pick. Almost. These are like, you've got to buy these. We have 2 $8 offer on Crosby. The first one to offer it was James Lester. Sell that to James Tanner for $8. Let's sell John Porter, Al Green for $15. He was first. Price on Bobo. That was the Willie Bobo, A New Dimension. That's in shrink wrap for $29.99. shrink wrap for $29.99. It's on Verve. We had 3 $15 offers on Al Green. Let's see what else we got in here. Chad's Picks. Oh, Bill Withers, Greatest Hits. $34.99. Bill Withers, Greatest Hits. Just the two of us. Use Me. Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone. Lean on Me. Grandma's Hands. No condition notes on that one. $34.99. Bill Withers, Greatest Hits. Chad's Picks. Well, this is a great, there was 2 or 3 right off the bat in this one. Here we go. I was just talking about this. The Pretenders, Learning to Crawl. The Pretenders, Learning to Crawl, $24.99. Great album. Chrissy Hind, Original Inner Sleeve, No Condition Notes, EX Plus, Near Mint Minus, $24.99. $24.99. Bill Withers, $25. Sold to Brent Robley, $25. Aretha Franklin, no one asked about this yet. Aretha has a hop sticker with it. It is $19.99. Aretha has an original inner sleeve too. She's eating some ice cream on the back. I was thinking about ice cream the other night. I haven't had any ice cream in a while. I need to get my mom to make some homemade ice cream. She'll be like, "Are you crazy? We only do that during the summertime. What's wrong with you?" That was not a representation of my mother. But I do say crazy stuff sometimes, and she'll ask, "What is wrong with you?" Shaved Fish, John Lennon, $24.99. John Lennon Hits Comp. Has the Christmas song on it. Spock, Leonard Nimoy, The Way I Feel, VG Plus condition, $24.99. About a VG or VG minus cover. Not for WAGM format. This is a radio station copy. VG Plus, $24.99. Brent Robley says he'll give 10 on Aretha. Sell that to Brent for $10. And we've almost reached the end of the sale here, but I'm pulling out some Chad's Picks right here at the end. Hey, there's the Elvis in person. This is, I'll tell you what, I won't even tell you what I originally have it marked. I'll tell you what I'm going to sell it for. Elvis in person at the International Hotel Las Vegas, $25. That is the sale price. It's on the original orange RCA label. We're going to sell G. Michael Spock for $17. Elvis is a $25 buy it now. 2 LP at the International Hotel. International Hotel. Boy, we got a lot of Paul McCartney and Wings albums back here once again. Do y'all remember that other night when we sold like record after record of Paul McCartney and Wings? I probably have a whole nother crate full. We talk about Elvis having a lot of records. Paul McCartney, oh my gosh, there are so many copies of Wings. We have them in the back just stacked up too. Nice copies. He sold a lot of records. That was the closest thing to the Beatles that anybody could get. All right, first we're going to sell Sherry Darnell Elvis for $25, and we're going to sell David Hoy the Willie Bobo for $20. The Tommy from a few crates back, that's so. Let me make sure Dan McKenzie didn't want it. I think you already said pass, so that's David for $20. Here's another anthology like Stevie Wonder. This is called Four Tops, $34.99. It leads off with Baby, I Need Your Lovin'. Also on here is I Can't Help Myself, Sugar Pie, Honey Bun. That's another triple LP Four Tops compilation anthology, $34.99. Great Motown music there, just like the Stevie Wonder one. The Stevie Wonder one. The Stevie Wonder record. That don't sound right. Wow, this usually isn't Left Behind. Here's a later 38 Special record. It's called 38 Special Rock and Roll Strategy. Rock and Roll Strategy in shrink wrap. I don't know if it's necessarily a Chad's pick, but I know it's a record that normally isn't Left Behind. It's in shrink wrap with the original inner sleeve. 38 Special, and that's called Rock and Roll Strategy. We're going to go ahead and sell Brent Robley the Four Tops for $25. I don't think I have a copy of Ram. Now, that's one that usually gets grabbed. We auctioned a Japanese pressing the other night. Let me see what else is over here. Uh-oh. I might as well just show this as sticker. EX Condition, $17.99. Jimmy Buffett, Riddles in the Sand. EX Condition, $17.99. Riddles in the Sand. EX Condition, $17.99. Jimmy Buffett. This is a good bin over here I'm looking through. We'll have to go. I'll have to crate this one up and bring it up front tomorrow. Yeah, there's great stuff in this bin. Wow. All right, these need to be sticker too. The first one is Tom Petty, Long After Dark, EX condition, $24.99. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Long After Dark, EX condition, $24.99. And the best of Dwayne Allman. I don't remember showing any of these. I don't remember that cover with like some kind of odd unicorn type thing on the cover. That's an Italian pressing for $24.99. The best of Dwayne Allman, an Italian pressing from '79. Is it true about the Beatles song using tape and AI? That is very true. Yes, we got a pre-order up for that single. Jason, I can't do 10 on 38 special. That would be more like $18 if you want that, Jason Conklin. Scott Klima, though, was first to Jimmy Buffett. Sherry was second. Brent was third. Dan was fourth. So Jimmy Buffett is sold to Scott Klima. Leslie Holt gets Tom Petty. And we have two $18 offers for Dwayne Allman. That must be the special number. Brent was first. So Jimmy Buffett to Scott. Tom Petty to Leslie, a sticker, and then Dwayne to Brent for $18. If anybody wants 38 special, $18 on that. What else is over here? Wow. $39.99. $39.99 Queen Hot Space. That's unusual to see that back here. $39.99 Queen Hot Space. $39.99. Jason Conklin said pass. I never did tell the price. My bad. Yeah, 38 special was $24.99. $24.99. Queen Hot Space. Very clean vinyl. Original inner sleeve. Let's see what else is over here. Here we go. 1999. Chicago's Greatest Hits. 1999, Chicago's Greatest Hits, which is labeled, I think, a Chicago 9, 25 or 64. Does anybody really know what time it is? Color My World, Feeling Stronger Every Day, Saturday in the Park, Just You and Me. Stone Cold Classics, Make Me Smile, Wishing You Were Here, Beginnings, I've Been Searching So Long, and Call on Me. Brent said he'd give 28 for Queen. Brent, if you do a $2 bump on that, I'll sell it to you. $2 Paul. Queen Hot Space, $30. That would be an even round $30 on that. Scott Klima wants Chicago. 38 Special is not a hit. It's a later album of theirs from 1988. It was $24.99 shrink wrap. I said I'd do $18 on it. This is pinning to Brent for $30. Tanner's pulled a couple. Are these Tanner's picks? These are Tanner's picks. Genesis, Abacab, $19.99. There's usually not a lot of Genesis left behind. Man on the Corner, another record, No Reply at All, Abacab, $19.99 for Genesis Abacab. And the Cars, the classic, Heartbeat City, Who's Gonna Drive You Home Tonight. That's actually the front cover. Everybody puts it back in the bins in the store. They'll put it back in the bin like that. Or like this. It's supposed to be like that. That's the original cover. Genesis. Brent says he'll pass. Does anybody want Queen Hot Space? Another one, Bites the Dust. No, Under Pressure. Under Pressure's on this one. With David Bowie. $39.99. I said I would take $30 for it. Abacab and Cars. Tanner, we've hit a dead streak. Wendy's is calling my name. Tomorrow's Rolling Stones night. And other stuff. I'm going to have other stuff ready too, so... we got concert posters and stuff like that ready. Sherry said she'll do the Queen for $30. I'll pass Paul. Paul's on his way back from Pittsburgh right now. They got a whole trailer full of more stuff from Dale's collection. So that's it. I'll do one more. No one made an offer on it, but one more Chad's pick. Of course, the Beatles, $20. I had it marked $29.99. G. Michael, all the books are up front. We'll have to do those either tomorrow. I'll pull some Rolling Stones books for sure. I've already got 50 probably priced. Sherry got the Queen for $30. And Leslie's going to take the Beatles for $20. Would you do $25 on the band stage fright? James, I will go ahead and sell that to you. $28. I said $28 earlier. He's offering $25. Go ahead and sell this to James Lester for $25. Leslie got the Beatles for $20. Dan was second. Scott, if you want the Cars, I'll do $28 on it. It is near mint. It is $34.99. Sorry if I didn't say the price earlier. It is near mint, $34.99. Heartbeat City. Actually, I'll do $25 on it. $25. He said 28. He already said deal 28. I'll sell to him for 25. That just cost me a $3 Wendy's cheeseburger. That's okay. Tanner, you can't eat tonight. I'm sorry. That's Scott's for 25. Holly put G for Genesis. She did. Holly got Genesis. Hey, Tanner's picks. They hit. He's 2 for 2. I think the only thing I didn't sell was 38 spec. No, I didn't sell a few. Tanner's got a better record than me. Somebody please buy the Pretenders, John Lennon, and 38 special. Tanner's batting 1.000. Holly is coming in on the Pretenders. Now, I just need somebody to get a John Lennon hits compilation and a 38 special record, and we're going to call it a night. It's over. Unless I start showing more stuff. Wow. Tanner just brought over a Marillion record. Whoa. Fugazi, Marillion. What in the world? A 1984 UK copy, $39.99. This thing is glossy. It is minty. It's a gatefold. Marillion Fugazi, $39.99. We'll start tomorrow's stream at 7 o'clock tomorrow. We'll get started with auctions probably right away. And we'll start off with auctions right away. We have a $28 off from Marillion. That's been Brent's magic number. I like $38.99 better. Everybody always leaves off those 99s. I'd be more willing to accept an offer if anybody would offer like $28.99. That's a fair offer. That's actually top of the leaderboard right now. There's a $28.99. Okay, I'm reaching for it. I may be saying yes. Probably a great price for what I just called. Plus, it usually would like boom sell immediately, but we are handing out some deals right now. We have a $10.99 for a 38 special. I don't know if I want to do that. I think somebody offered. I think somebody already offered 15. That was $24.99. I offered for 20. I offered it for 18. Let's go ahead and sell this to Brent for $28.99, and we'll call those the duds. That's the only two Chads and Tanner picks that didn't sell. All right, I'm hitting the button to end the stream. I've got to go get in line at Wendy's before they cut me off. I think they close at midnight. So, or Whataburger. I'll figure out. If you go to Whataburger, you can go ahead and get a milkshake. But at Wendy's, you can get a Frosty. So pretty tough. I got some tough decisions to make. We'll be back at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time tomorrow night to do this all over. I will be here the rest of the night working on more records. So message the page at any point if you have any questions, or you can message me. I will try my best to return messages. I have a lot. I usually just try to focus on price and records so we can have a great sale tomorrow. So thanks, everybody, and see y'all tomorrow night.